Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Battletech. Just getting everything organised on this end. Shouldn't be any more than just a few moments. So how are we all going today? Right. What am I missing here? That one and that one. Okay, cool. Jesus, only just started up and already got a bloody bot. Sorry guys, I'm going to have to quickly deal with that one. And report as a bot. And submit report. Alright, cool. Alright, so where were we the last time we played this? It's actually been about a week since I've managed to jump on this. Apologies for the lack of streaming over the last couple of days as well. I've actually been rather unwell. Not Rona again, although for a moment there, the symptoms I had, I thought I might have the Rona, but thankfully I seem to have dodged it again. Alright, so barracks. I think the last time we had a couple. Yeah, Hunter's still in the med bay for another 24 days.
What? No.
We've got Marvel here that needs to be trained up. Medusa and Shocker's in training. Yeah, we're running a little short on spares at the moment. I'm gonna have to get some more in training. Mech bay. How are we looking at the moment? Centurion's under short repair. Highlander's 2 days out, 4 days out on the Orion, and 7 until we get the Zeus up and running. Everything else appears to be up and functional. Upgrades complete in 9 days. Financial reports also due in 9 days. And I don't think we have any contracts set up at the moment. Now the plan is we're actually going to try and make it to this war cancel this time. Although, just want to do a final check before we go through. There is that assassination mission for the Capellans. 3.5. Ooh, that's tempting. Base defense is not tempting. I can ignore that. 731 max. In pursuit of a pirate terrorist for months. We've tracked him to this planet. They've gone to ground, but I'm going to have to do that one before we nick off. That's going to have to be our first engagement here. Finish off that one. We have to wait 7 days, which I don't particularly want to do, but we're going to have to wait 7 days. We got the money for it. Get our 3 mechs repaired, because I want the Highlander functional for this at the very least. I'll probably want the Orion and the Zeus available as well. Hey, Tuna, how's it going, mate? Yeah, we get the Orion and the Zeus functional. And once they're done, then we can drop in, complete that mission, and then we'll head off to the campaign. The catapult. It's never going to work, says Shocker. It'll work, says Archangel. And even if it doesn't work, it'll be awesome, says Gyrojet. You look curiously at the 3 mech warriors clustered around the table in the mess hall. Noticing your interest, Gyrojet calls you over, showing a miniature medieval catapult constructed of dried noodles, bits of edible foam, and elastic bands. Why? You were using utensils at first, but the cook took them away. Archangel says if we can get it tuned properly, it'll make great for radishes. No, that's fine. Supervise. You watch the pilots work together and team to get the little toy working. You only feel compelled to give a few hints while drinking your coffee. It works precisely once before falling apart, but that one time sends a radish arcing gloriously along the mess hall to bounce against the wall beside Darius's head as he arrives. For some reason, the XO isn't mortified when you tell him it was a training exercise, but the pilots are delighted. Hey, High Spirits on 2. Nobody got hurt. That's another one I haven't seen. There must be a few in rotation that they added in the final patches that only show up later in the game. Because it's been a while since I've completed this. So I haven't seen that one before. That one's a kind of a cute one. Hello, Tal. How's it going, mate? Tuna, it's going. That doesn't sound good. What's up, mate? Alright, so 2 days left on Zeus. I'd really rather do this one with Hunter available, but I'm not going to have that option unless I want to hang around for half a month.
Order you submitted is complete.
All work orders complete, Commander. The crew is ready for the next job. Okay, so 2 days out. All of our mechs are repaired. Good morning, curmudgeon. So far, it's better than expected. Tell, yeah, alright. Just had to hammer another of the buy followers bots. Yeah, I nailed one as well. Yeah, there was one. The second the stream started, I got hit. So that was the very first thing I had to do coming in here. Alright. So mechs are all repaired. I'm going to have to do this one. But I'm going to be missing my top pilot, which is, well, me. But a 3.5 skull assassination mission, this is going to have an assault mech at the end of it. And I want whatever's at the end of it. So, 4 parts. Oh, they're paying out really high on this. Actually, it's nearly $1 million on full. That is a great option. That is a great option for this one. The rewards on this are ridiculously high. That's 300,000. That's not quite a full month's operating expenses, and it should be more than enough to repair virtually any damage we pop up against. Even if we lose a mech, or we have critical damage to a mech, we should be able to repair it within 300,000. And we get 6 selected parts. That's 2 complete battle mechs if we blow them up right, and 24 total spares out of this. I really want my pilot in on this one. Alright, so we got the Marauder. That's the important one. I need my best gunner on there. So I'm leaving Striker in there. Tactics 9, Gunnery 9. Actually, before we do that, see if there's any more points that I can afford to spend, particularly on Striker.
Yes, Commander.
Got only 400, and I think I cleared all of these.
Training complete.
Hunter's
Hey.
out.
Right here.
Order.
Copy.
Yep.
Okay. No, they're all spent. Damn it.
I'm all ears, Commander.
No, gotta run. That's not who I
You know
wanted.
where to find me.
Alright, so we'll go through and we'll reset this one up again. Exactly the same as last time. 624, 300,000 walk away. It's going to piss off the pirates. Who cares? Medusa is in. 99. 8-6 on Archangel in the Archer, which should be fine. Decker 9-8. He's the second best pilot that I've got outside of Medusa, and I need 9 tactics in the Marauder for the headshot. So Decker's driving the Highlander for this one. 7555. 8686. Archangel might drive the Orion, and I'll stick Shocker in the Archer. So that's the long range support, our sniper, and our 2 tanks. That'll work, I hope. Spirit Fox, lucrative contract, yeah. I'm a little nervous about this one. Like, it's a 3.5 skull assassination mission, so its difficulty isn't going to be high, is not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult, but the rewards are ridiculously high for it. At 3.5 skulls, it's basically guaranteed to be an assault mech. It just comes down to what weight class it's going to be at the end. it's a mission where I'm virtually going to vacuum up everything that falls on the ground, as well as be able to walk away with 2 complete battle mechs. But my best pilot, my personal character, isn't available and won't be available for another half month because he took that headshot in the last mission. So I'm running with kind of the B team, the A team mechs, but the B team pilots. And you don't get the money for nothing. No, this is correct. I once got a second Highlander from one of these kinds of missions. Yeah, this is why I always hunt down the Assassination missions, because the general rule is, whatever your difficulty level is, the final mech, or the target mech, will always be a mech that is of the next difficulty up. So this is basically a 3.5 skull. It's close enough to a 4.5 to 5 mission reward in the final mech. Well, that's 80 to 100 ton assault mech. Possibly a good one. Like, there could be a king crab at the end of this mission. And I've got a machine that can headshot like nothing else, so I've got to take a crack at it.
Initiated.
These are the missions you always look for gearing up. I can't not take this mission. Alright, this is the place commander. Maya, can you see the target anyway? We're blind on the ground. Yeah, this is not an optimal environment. What is that? It's only a catapult. Oh, that's disappointing. A catapult's a good mech, but I've already moved past that. But that's a catapult for the target. So what the hell are they going to send at me from down the sides then? What are the supporting lancers going to have?
This here's a nightmare land.
That's really odd. Like your B team is just your A team without you? Well, my character's almost max statted at this point. So yeah, take him out and it actually causes a lot of issues with the pilots. I mean, Decker is currently driving the Highlander. He's taking the place of me because he's the closest thing that I've got to my character outside of Medusa, and I need Medusa in the driving the Marauder because it's got the 35% headshot bonus on 9 tactics. So it's my sniper. It's the mech that I need to execute the targets.
Position confirmed.
Unfortunately, I've had a lot of good pilots that should have been trained up equivalent to my main pilot that all, bought the farm.
This looks like a prime spot for an ambush. Be careful, Commander. You don't want to get caught in a crossfire.
This whole place looks like a prime spot for an ambush, and there's definitely 2 lancers involved. The upside is, that's the map barrier. So everything that's coming at us is going to be coming at us from pretty much in front. Should have kept Glitch alive. Yeah, unfortunately, the Star League base, its defenses had other ideas about that. I would have rather keep Glitch alive as well. Behemoth as well. I normally have Behemoth be a replication of my character, because I tend to be fairly tanky on my character, and I set other characters up as precision snipers and supporting roles. But yeah, Behemoth bid it as well. Long before she had an opportunity to become that. Alright, we have contacts.
Standing by.
Alright, so who have we got?
Ready for orders.
Commander.
Decker's the only one with sensor lock.
They will be done.
That's alright, we'll put the Orion in the Whirlwind. Actually, we'll put them all in the Whirlwind behind the Highlander.
On my
Next
way.
round, Decker can sensor lock the target, and we'll put that Archer to work. It's another 65 tonner. Alright, so this isn't going to be a super high weight final target. It looks like every mech is going to be in the 65 ton range. So the catapult is the target, or at least that's what the silhouette indicated. But even the side lancers, the supporting lancers and the backup are going to be the 65 ton area. So we can still walk out of here with a couple of nice heavies and a lot of spare parts. Alright, so Medusa, I am going to just... Yeah, we will just brace you. You don't need to do anything at the moment. Just chill. I want to know what that is. Got a 50-tonner coming in as well. Another 45-tonner. Mainly curious about that 65-tonner.
I've got a sensor lock.
Thunderbolt. Okay. It's nothing too impressive.
Yeah.
Shocker. LRMs. Go.
Here you go.
Commander?
Alright. Where are our hits on here? AC-10? No. Not on this Orion. We need to close. Actually. No, we will stay right where we are. Brace, let them close in on us. At least for this first turn.
Stabilizing and bracing. Let's hit them hard. What do you need?
And we've already lost. I'll move the Marauder back so it doesn't get primaried. Another 40-tonner. For all... Okay. I'm kind of disappointed with these weights. This is... nothing special. 50 tons, 65. It's a hunchback, 4G. Hey, you hit me with your big cannon. I'm going to hit you with a railgun. Enforcer. Actually, that's stripped off nearly 2 blocks of armor straight away, so this is going to... Blackjack. Alright, my turn.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, hunchback. Yeah, everything looks good. And yeah, just general vicinity of him.
Affirmative.
And that's the catapult. Structure exposed already.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
I live to serve.
Get the Orion forward.
On my way.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be overwhelming numbers. Knock down, get that AC-20 out of play.
Losing lots of armor. I'm listening. Confirmed.
Move the Archer over. LRM support. Just hammer the center torso on the hunchback.
Lock in target.
They've got a lot of fire support mechs in that back line.
Armor's getting stripped off.
Yep, that's I'm thinking 2 catapults, or there's more thunderbolts in the back line as well, which is possible. Shouldn't need everything up there on heat. 2 PPCs and a large laser should be enough to finish that off. Cool. Alright, AC-20's out of play. That's one of their big guns removed. Now I've got to get rid of that thunderbolt next.
I hope we can salvage that.
I don't really care if we can salvage that. They can't really go for the flank. It's fairly easy for me to back off because I've started in a corner. The problem is they can just overwhelm me. I'm getting bad feelings here right now. There is more mechs than I'm able to take down. And there's no way known I'm going to be able to retreat.
Heavy hits, Commander.
Like, seriously, with the number of fire support mechs they've got here, they're going to start knocking mechs over just in their turn. I'm about to lose the Orion. Medium lasers crit. If he takes one more volley set without being able to move.
Yes, Commander.
Move order received.
That'll work. That covers up the right-hand side a little bit. Doesn't quite get him back far enough. A Thunderbolt has to be the next target, although I'm going to overheat if I actually fire everything. Pull the SRMs out. Everything's 50s, 50s, 70s.
Roger that.
That was kind of pathetic. Yeah, they're just going to pull me apart here without me being able to do a goddamn thing about it.
Good to go.
Oh, this mission is shit.
Location confirmed.
The rewards aren't even going to be worth this shit. No wonder they overpaid me for this. Alright. Time for the fuck you shot.
Target's taken a critical hit.
Commander.
That's going to overheat everything. Let's pull some meads out of that. Yeah, that'll do.
Here we
Just
go.
kill that Thunderbolt next. Please. This is the problem.
I'm guessing you didn't like that, did you?
Every round, I'm having to put essentially an alpha strike into a single target, and it's taking 4 to actually take down one of these enemy mechs. And he gets straight back up again for his turn. So the knockdown didn't actually give me anything there. If I can survive the big ones and can smash a couple of these small ones quickly enough,
That shot went internal.
I might be alright. But
Good to go.
alright.
On my way.
Let's get creative here. Yeah, 35. No, we won't worry about that. Straight shot. We're just going to... Heat's not going to help us here either. That should be sufficient to take the Thunderbolt out without the aim shot. So I can save the points for the aim shot up for the next one and start going for the going for the rolls. No, we won't do the precision. Yep, we won't do the precision. Come on. Although I can't really afford to miss this. Yeah, we might have to. Thank you. Alright, I can't afford to miss that shot. That Thunderbolt had to go down. Alright, Thunderbolt's down. Next set of precision strike points need to be spent on one of the little ones. Roll a 35% shot to take off its head. Heatsink destroyed in the Highlander.
I took a critical hit.
It's a double heatsink down too. Oh, with the amount of support fire coming in at the moment, there's no way known I'm not getting out of this without more pilot injuries. My pilots are going to be rooted after this. All of them. I'll be lucky if I walk out of here with the Highlander still bolted together.
Armor.
Oh, I blew the Thunderbolt's torso, so it doesn't matter.
Armor blow through. Internal damage.
Since you complained about not getting anything out of knocking the fucker down. Oh no, that's irrelevant. He'll have. Whoa, that blackjack just nuked itself. Yeah, he'll have 4 to 5 health points. So losing 1 is irrelevant in this situation. It's not going to do anything for me. I need to kill the other 4. And I don't have time for that at the moment.
Waiting for orders.
So Decker, I need to get back into the sandstorm here just to try and give him a little bit more cover, just so the Highlander has a chance of surviving. And we are going to try and just straight... Yeah, we've lost... We're internal on the double plus LRM-20. We've lost a heat sink. And we're about to lose the arm with the Gauss rifle. So I might as well just keep slugging away here.
Roger that.
Now the Marauder's taken hits. Pilot injured.
Gonna need a medic.
There's 12 days in medbay.
I'm ready.
I'm less annoyed by the fact that this mission is... What really pisses me off about this mission so far isn't so much that this swarm's hard.
Position confirmed.
It's that it's all shit mechs, so this... Now I've seen what's in it. This is a 3.5 skull mission based entirely on the difficulty of this swarm. But there isn't a single mech here that I'd actually want to use. Like, I'm already vendoring Thunderbolts. I'm vendoring Hunchbacks. I've vended half of my Hunchbacks. Everything here is shit. The 2 catapults, I love catapults, but I'm up to archers. Catapults are useless for me now. I wouldn't field one. They haven't got enough weight behind them. So the worst part here is for the difficulty of this mission, everything in it is shit. There's nothing here that's worth actually taking off the battlefield. So I have 6 points to recover mechs. Oh, that was pathetic. 6 points that I can use to recover mechs. And I'm going to get nothing out of this. There's nothing in it at all. And in the process, it's possible that I'm going to lose multiple pilots and lose... Well, I've already lost important parts on the mech. The double heatsink that was destroyed, I haven't got a replacement for that on the Highlander.
Right here. Mm-hmm.
So I cannot replace that at all. And this blackjack's taken this many rounds to kill it. I can't even fire the Archer without overheating it. Yeah, I can't fire the Archer. Hey Twitch Dizzy, hey Mags, hope you're doing great. Was just wondering, will you ever make more War Thunder VR videos? I really enjoyed those. When Gaijin gets around to unfucking their VR, I might. Gaijin 2 major patches ago decided to do a VR update for War Thunder to bring War Thunder into 2021 and fix all of its problems. In the process, they managed to completely destroy the VR spotting system. They managed to completely ruin aiming and perspective. They caused force glitches across virtually all of the 3D cockpits for VR, to the point where you can't see through the props of some aircraft because they turn solid and you can't see through them. The crosshairs don't line up anymore. They basically broke your ability to fly VR in its entirety with their VR patch. And up until the last time I tried it, which was about 3 to 4 weeks ago, give or take. Yeah, no, actually, no, it would have been just before. Yeah, actually, no, that would be about right, because it would be just before New Year's was the last time I tried it, and it was no better, down to aircraft essentially not rendering until they were within 200 to 300 meters of your aircraft. So you were under attack by machines that were essentially invisible inside of VR that wouldn't appear until they were close enough for you to flop your cock out and piss on their windshield. If Gaijin ever gets around to fixing that, you know, undoing the damage that they did with their VR update, maybe I'd fly it again. And if I sound salty, it's because I am, because that was the last area of War Thunder that I was really enjoying. And Gaijin tried to fix it, and in touching it, they managed to completely destroy it. They essentially rendered their game unplayable, which is why I haven't touched War Thunder since. So yeah, hope that answers the question. Alright, hey, it only took us 5 rounds to finally destroy a single shut-down blackjack. Will it cost us a Highlander? Or a Marauder? Probably both. Artillery support is now going to be focusing on the Marauders.
Heavy damage.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, Twitch, I'm not expecting them to fix it. Gaijin has introduced bugs to the game that they haven't repaired in 8 years. So, I think the chances of them managing to fix VR after the first time they made a major update to VR, since they implemented it in like 2014, is unlikely. The servers will be shutting down before they look at fixing this.
My internals are taking a beating. Commander? Move order received.
I hate the fact that I need to keep precision striking, but I need to. And I hate the fact that I need to keep cycling this. He's getting more and more unsteady because of the current constantly cycling in an alpha strike, but the Decker's the only mech that isn't overheating, so I've got to keep him working. And he's got the most firepower. Repair bugs, but comrade, spreadsheet says that does not create open wallets. Oh, sorry, secret document. That's the issue. I don't know why they decided to do the update. Well, they did. I know why. They decided to switch over to OpenXR. But they half-assed their OpenXR implementation, and that's what's caused all the bugs. That's what caused all of this in the end. They obviously had one guy and a bag of chips as the budget for trying to get OpenXR functional, and they broke everything. Alright, there's another one down.
Mech destroyed.
It's only an executioner, but it's something. Yeah. Another strike in. Orion's taking it this time. It's alright. I prefer the Orion to take the hits than the Marauder continuously taking him while it's down. I need the Marauder back up. Right.
Yeah.
Shocker has cooled down enough that she can actually shoot. So now we've got to take out the assassins. Who would be primary? Probably you. So LRM's on. We can get one cycle, one Mead laser. We're going to have to overheat. 2 LRMs, 2 Mead lasers. If we're going to do this, let's precision strike.
Pull the trigger.
Peel off enough of that armor. That's an
My
overheat
heat
and
gauge
structural
is
damage on
all
the archer.
red.
Lance Command mod destroyed on the Marauder. Because, of course.
Getting my ass kicked.
And one of the 50 tonners, and it's another trebuchet. Cold shot on the left arm. That's going to kill one of the PPCs. Nope, left arm surprisingly survived.
Receiving you.
Yeah, this is why I stopped doing War Thunder, guys. Like, I get sick and tired of Gaijin fucking everything that they touch. They can't run events without making them terrible. Not quite as bad as what World of Warships does, but they still can't manage to pull that off. Brace, because I've got to cool the Marauder down for a turn before I can get it to use. And they can't fix any of their mechanics or do any internal work that involves their code without ruining whole sections of their game. And I'm just sick and tired of having to try and play through their bullshit. I've been sick and tired of it for a long time, which is why I stopped playing the other game modes. And VR had one benefit, VR or Sim in general had one benefit going to it. And that benefit was, because so few people actually played Sim, Gaijin generally didn't touch it. So it was dated, it was old, it never got any updates, but that was fine, because Gaijin wasn't updating it, they weren't breaking it. And then they decided that they were going to do an update for it and fucked it. So, yeah. It's apparently fine to play outside of VR, because it was the VR implementation that they rooted, but the problem is, my eyes are, as most of you know, are completely screwed, and I can't see properly outside of VR. Without the depth perception, I can't look at a screen with head tracking and spot targets accurately anymore. My eyes are too shit. A few years ago, they were borderline being able to pull that off, but I'm on the short run heading towards 40 now. The eyes have degraded more over the last 2 years, especially since I've had 2 years where, because of COVID, I haven't been able to get in and have my regular eye test because, yeah, I haven't been able to, it hasn't been an option. So I haven't been able to keep up with the normal medical that I would normally have. And, yeah, the result is, there has been degradation of my corneas, and there's not much I can do about it. So the VR, this is why I do so much stuff in VR. The way the lenses orientate, the fact that it gives you depth perception, even if it's artificial, actually aids my eyes enough that I'm able to see and I'm able to spot targets and I'm able to do things. So when they broke VR, they literally broke my ability to play the game. I treat VR more as a support system for my disability than an immersion factor, although it is incredible and it's an immersion. But yeah, that's again another reason why I'm salty about it. It was like, imagine Gaijin fucking up colorblind mode for colorblind people. That's a sort of somewhere in the area where my saltiness hits for this. Alright, so Highlander again. And once again, you're going to have to precision strike the assassin and hope that this is going to be enough, and we're going to have to hit it with pretty much everything again.
Copy that.
And misses with the Gauss rifle, which, yeah, I knew it would start getting that way. It's screwed up for different HMDs because I play in a Quest 2 and I don't have too many issues. Yeah, well, different HMDs work the system differently. Quest 2 runs through the Oculus software. Runs through the Oculus side. What they changed was they changed over to OpenXR. OpenXR? Which is the new standard that's coming in that's replacing everything from Steam and everything else. And it's mainly based around Windows mixed reality headsets and headsets that directly access the Steam VR base. Those are the headsets that messed up. And different headsets at different levels. Basically, most of the current high-resolution generation headsets had issues. So we're talking the Valve Index, the G2, which is the one I've got. I'm not sure about the new... God, what's the other headset? The new HTC Vive. I'm not sure how it went, whether or not it was affected. I do know people with the... Oh, I've got to remember its name now. God, I'm having a massive brain block here. The ultra-wide resolution one. The 8K. The Pimax. The Pimax headsets were also affected. So all the people that threw hard money at VR, getting really nice headsets with really high resolution for flight simming and all that kind of stuff, they all got screwed. If they were using them for War Thunder.
Orders?
Yeah. What am I going to do? All I can do is back them up and keep bracing at the moment until I've got enough cooldown to be able to cycle, because I'm basically on the heat limits for all of my mechs now. And just hope that I can tank through to another full round of damage. I think that really sucks. I'm sorry. It's no fault of yours. It's a fault of Gaijins. It's as simple as that. They tried to do something, and they didn't do it properly.
I'm here.
They half-assed it, and they released a buggy product. Is anybody surprised by this? Alright. Let's go. We'll keep one large and one PPC out just to save the heat. 2 mediums and the double plus PPC should be enough to pop the assassin.
Copy that.
Yep. Okay, that gets its guns out of play. Now we've got to pop the second assassin.
Tango down. Receiving you. Coordinates received.
Just got to keep backing up the group. I have to pop another precision strike. Assassin center torso. Alright, that actually hit, so that's something. The catapults are starting to come into range. Alright, this is sensor-locked Decker. So the catapults are about to start hammering the shit out of him. Alright, so move the Orion up and around the side. It's got a little bit of heat left, so maybe... You put the SRM-6... Can't afford the second Mead laser. 1 Mead laser and the AC-10.
Firing.
Come on, pop the torso. Thank you. Alright.
Target neutralized.
Unfortunately, the sensor lock is still going to allow the second mech to be able to fire on us. Right, it's Archangel taking the hits. Right leg destroyed, so Orion's about to go down. Medium laser destroyed. That's alright. Of all the mechs here, the Orion's the one that I can afford to take the most damage on. I don't like the fact that Archangel's in it. Archangel's one of my best pilots, and there's another injury in play. But the Orion is the least important mech. The Orion is one that I'm going to replace.
I'm listening.
Now, unfortunately, I've run into the odd situation now. Where I don't have eyes on any of their mechs anymore. Coolant vent on the Highlander? No need to. The Highlander's got no heat issues. If you check over at... well, I'll check him in a second. The Highlander's perfectly fine. The Highlander's major issue at the moment is because he's constantly alpha striking. The more you do it with weapons like the Gauss rifle, the less accurate they get over time. You've got to give him a break. But I can't afford to not cycle him because he's the only one. The double heat sinks on the Highlander means he's the only mech that isn't suffering heat overload at the moment. Alright, get this trebuchet out of play. And I'm going to have to overheat. Yeah, if we're going to overheat it, we might as well do it properly.
Firing at him.
Strip the armor off.
I think I hit something special
Yep,
there.
Archer's going to overheat again. That's the second time.
Show 'em what you got.
Sounds like the pirate terrorist is coming in. Ow, ow, ow. Left leg, left torso, left arm. Another injury on Medusa. And Medusa's going to go down, so that's 2 injuries on Medusa.
I'm hit.
Fuck. Medusa.
Ready for orders.
Yep, fuck it.
Punching out.
Another round on Medusa would kill her. Or kill him.
Armor breach.
I can't afford to lose another mech warrior. He's going to be out of tow for a month.
Reporting.
This mission was a bad idea. The Archer's fucked. He's got to cycle down for a full turn. Nothing I can do about the Archer.
Copy.
And here comes the second catapult, and it's starting to lay into the Orion as well. Right arm destroyed.
I'm losing weapon systems.
Standing by.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, the Orion's got the
Orders?
Pete. But the Orion's got other problems at the moment.
On it.
If anyone wanted a demonstration on exactly how dangerous missile mechs are in this game, in large numbers, here it is. I'm losing essentially one of the single most expensive mechs in the game, or running the risk of losing one of the most expensive mechs in the game, to a bunch of LRM racks. And there's not much I can do about it. There's no counterplay to this. They've just got to bury me in shit mechs and keep shooting me until I fall over.
I'm receiving you.
I think Archangel's going to die.
Regain stance, Commander.
Gets that piece of shit out of play.
Tango down. Watch
Yeah.
my heat.
I'll dump
Taking
your heat in the
damage.
next round, assuming you survive long enough to actually have it matter. LRM-20 is now crit, so I've just lost another.
My mech's coming apart around me. Commander? On my way.
I just got to go for the center and just hope that I punch through and kill it.
That hit something good.
None of these pilots, my sniper was the only one that had a reliable headshot, and I had to punch him out of the mech. That was the Medusa. So all I can do is try and call through that center armor. Left torso, left arm destroyed.
I'm losing weapon systems.
Decker just lost a weapon. That's half of the important gear inside of the Highlander destroyed by a fucking catapult.
On my way.
Move one.
My mech is limping.
And coolant vent, and that's the end of your turn. Now let's see if you survive for long enough for that to matter. And brace.
Commander. Affirmative. Firing at him. I copy.
I want to get Archangel shot in first. Although, having said that, what's left of his mech is actually in reasonably good nick. He's missing a lot of mech, but what's there is okay. Yeah, dump everything onto that thing, kill it.
Kill confirmed, Commander.
Alright, that's the target destroyed, so mission completed.
That's a kill.
Waiting for orders.
Alright. Move back one. And brace. Finally getting a chance to actually give him a break. He hasn't had a single turn without alpha striking since the engagement started. And I'm going to move over one again to line him up. And do the same thing with Shocker. Calm them all, chill them all down.
Reporting internal damage.
No, there's no point in jumping that early on. Not with the mech in that condition, not after cycling the guns that much. This turn will be better. He's had one turn as a break. And catapult's got...
Target damage. Concentrate your fire and bring it down.
No, it's only the terrorist that's left. Sorry, I got the wrong catapult. This one's the main one. And we're out of AC-10 ammo now. That's probably because half of it got blown up.
Yes, Commander. Orders?
Alright. And the jump's not going to give me a non-shit angle anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Affirmative.
Don't have the range. But I do have a precision strike. Yeah, I've lost an SRM-6 double plus and an LRM-20 double plus. Very least, that looks like they hit.
I copy.
Shocker's got the least damage of all of them, so it can actually shirt front the catapult if I can make it tank. LRM's on, only 40%, but...
Confirmed. That was a critical hit.
The target is retreating, Commander. Eliminate it before it escapes.
Jumping.
Now. Fuck you.
Acknowledged.
That mission was not worth
Target
it.
eliminated.
There we go. The area has been cleared. Yeah, damn right it has been.
Mission successful.
The cost was not worth it. Alright, so destroy the target and escape. Success. Destroy the supporting forces. Increase payment by 10. Increase payment by 10 to eliminate the ambushes. So 368,000. The Highlander's fucked. Decker's in hospital for 12 days. Archangel, the Orion's fucked. Or Archangel's in hospital for 12 days. The Marauder's fucked. Medusa's in hospital for 48 days. Shocker gets out uninjured and with minimal damage to the Archer. Marauder took out 4. Orion took out 4. Highlander only took out 1. Saved the Gauze rifle but lost 2 double heat sinks. The SRM-20 double plus and the SRM-6 double plus. The SRM and the LRMs are potentially replaceable and I could deal with lower ones. Losing the double heat sinks, that hurts. That hurts a lot. The crippling damage to everything else as well. Toa, I always dislike the Martian and lunar biomes because they make every run so hot. It's not so much of an issue with how hot it was the number of mechs there. That was not what I was expecting. Generally, these missions, the way they work, the target is always a higher weight class. So I was fully expecting an assault mech. Then there was usually a heavy to a crap assault mech leading each of the ambush teams. So I was expecting there to be 2 groups, and those are generally have one really heavy mech at the core of them, and then 3 other mechs that are generally light in support, and sometimes they have an extra group of ground vehicles that comes in as well. That's almost every single one of those assassination missions. This one, 2 65-ton mechs that are pieces of shit that were not worth going after. 2 C4 catapults. Well, actually, they're actually really good mechs, but, you know, whatever. And we did recover one of them there because I already had a part. So, 2 65s. One of those was the primary target, which I sell these now. Like, this catapult is going to cover the cost of my repairs. I'm not actually going to deploy it. And then everything else is basically a between 40 and 60-ton mech with it. And it was just a swarm. That was shit. There was nothing fun about that. So I got 2 trebuchet. I got a trebuchet and I got a catapult. And I'm going to sell both of those just to cover expenses. I got a blackjack, which I'll sell as well. I don't care about the double plus AC2s. I don't care about the AC20. No decent Lost Techs. There's some Lost Tech medium lasers that would be nice. Don't care about the arm mods. Yeah, and all of the salvage is shit. It's a 1-ton unit. Ballistic energy on missile weaponry depending on the type of TTS. It's +1. It's only a +1 accuracy. Like, nice, but yeah. It's all just crap. Because none of them were interesting mechs, it's all just crap. Alright, so what else did I get with that? We got the blackjack, we got a catapult. Looks like we got the parts for the hunchback. Got one of the large lasers, LRM-10, LRM-15, LRM-20. One of the SRMs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the salvage, the bonus salvage was crap as well. Yeah, that mission was completely, utterly, and totally not worth our time. That just cost us a lot of money in mechs repairs and valuable parts that we can't replace for nothing. I don't mind exchanging that
mech you wanted is back online.
For something that's actually valuable, but
that mech you asked for is cleared for fighting.
Yeah, there was nothing valuable there. Put that in storage. The Trebuchet can go to storage. Can go to storage. Show me the base. Catapult C4. Yeah, I'll put that into storage as well. Alright. At least the Warhammer's up. The Archer will be these. What do they want to refit? What have we lost? What have we lost? Ah, we didn't lose anything on the Archer. It was just it had some, must have had some damage go internal. Although it didn't show any real serious damage. It seems to be fine. Ah, of course, we overheated it twice, so it would have got internal structural damage from the overheating, even though nothing penetrated the outer armor. So we broke the mech. Okay. That should be fairly easy to fix. That shouldn't be too much of a problem.
I'll get it in the schedule.
Yeah, right, let's look at the Orion next. Alright, so replace the arm. SRM4. And we need to get a Mead laser in there. We need SRM ammo, AC-10 ammo in the leg, 2 SRM ammo and 1 AC-10 ammo. That's why the leg went. When it popped the leg, it blew the leg. Like it blew the ammo in the leg, that's why it lost the side. At least it saved the triple plus SRM6, which is the nicest piece of kit that I've got in there. So that's nearly 200,000 just to bolt the Orion back together. 193,900, and that seems to be everything, I think.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
How much SRM ammo per bin? It's 1 ton. I'm not sure how that relates into shots, but I tend to go through a lot of SRM ammo. No, we'll save that one to last. Let's do the Marauder next. So let's replace the head. We lost the comms system that I had installed on. I don't think I've got a spare for one of those. No. Well, I could move one of the heat sinks into the head. No, it's only a +1 melee. That doesn't really make a difference. Alright. Repair all. What did we lose? We lost a PPC. Thankfully, we saved the good PPC. You know what? I'm going to give it that one. I'm going to give it the other double plus on the other side. This is still my sniping mech. I'm just kind of disappointed about the comm system. Well, that's the Mead laser. You know what? Let's pimp this thing a little. And we got heat sinks that we're going to have to swap out as well. Yes, all the heat sinks from the right leg. Or left leg, rather. Left leg. Alright, so 4 heat sinks, Mead laser PPC, and the comm system, which we don't have a replacement for. And just make sure everything is repaired all. The Lance command module we also lost, but that automatically gets repaired. Alright, so that's the Marauder, 300,000.
Logged and noted. Shouldn't be too
So
hard.
we're on 600,000 in repairs so far, and this is the one that's going to hurt. Funnily enough, it would have been better to lose the right arm overall, because I don't have replacements for the SRMs or the LRM, but I do have a replacement Gauss rifle. Yeah, we have nothing that's worth swapping in on that side. And an LRM 20. Repair all, and yet 2 double heat sinks lost. And those are irreplaceable. I do not have anything that I can swap in on those. God damn it. I need to mess around with this armor as well. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep the double heatsinks out, and we're just going to pump the armor on this thing to ungodly levels. I want... Alright, we're not going to quite have enough for that. That's right, I'll give it a little bit extra in the back. 65 the rear, 50 on each torsos to the rear, and everything else maxed out. We'll just go without the extras. It was still not overheating, it wasn't too much of an issue there. Painful to lose those double heatsinks. I would have liked to pull them out and actually put them in storage. Found them for something else. I should have done that already. But, yeah. Now I'm just trying to think, would it be better to split the double heatsinks across the mech? This way, if I lose the right torso, I don't lose 2 double heatsinks. I'm only going to lose 1. Center torso. Well, if I lose the center torso, I've got bigger problems. Yeah, that will do, I think. Alright, so that has the armor maxed out at least. So now it should be even tankier than it was before. Painful way to go about things. 11 days to put it back together. And yeah, we've had to downgrade our weapons. So we're going to have to look for replacements for both of those. I would like that capability back again.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
You could leave the left as a sacrificial side. Well, ideally I won't run into that situation. That's the first time I've ever had that kind of a beating on the Highlander. Like, that's never happened before. No SRM ammo? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it had SRM ammo in the legs. That's where I keep all the ammunition, LRM and SRM ammo in the legs. That wasn't on my replacement list, so I don't think I lost any of that. Yeah, but the general rule is you don't want to lose anything on the Highlander. This is a Star League Highlander, so you got to try and keep it together. I've never taken a beating where I've lost that much before. That's the first time, and it took, what was that, 2 and a bit lances to pull it off. Alright, so that's all of that sorted, and that's all of the missions that I want done here. So, contracts. Now, the next one, if we're going to go on with the career, we're going to do the War Council. Now, that's going to be a 20-day transit. Now, the painful one is we're going to be a couple of mech warriors down again. So, it's 20 days. The Highlander's 32 days out. And Medusa's out for 48. And I really want Medusa up and running by the time we get there. So we could just kill time, but I would rather... What do I got in the barracks at the moment? Archangel's out, Decker's out. We got Garajet, Marvel, and Shocker. We've only got 3 pilots. Jesus. Alright. Do a quick check on what we got in the local area that we can buy. Nothing for mechs, nothing for equipment, nothing for ammo. Nothing really for much of anything. Store here's crap. Hiring hall. What do we got in the way of mech warriors? Astrolotl. A little too low skilled. Halberdier, Peace, Phobia, Picnic, 5482. Bulwark, Heat, 58,000 for a Gladiator. His gunnery skill's too low, way too low for what I would normally like, but it looks like he's going that path. And the build, that's not a bad combination. Multi-shot. We've got Bulwark for defense, and we've got the coolant vent for overheat. That's not a bad energy weapon base build, but needs points. Tactics points is terrible. Piloting points is still sub 5 and needs time. You know what? Yep, we're going to do that. That gets us back up to 4, and I've got a mech
New
warrior that I
mech
can work on
warriors
that's at
available.
least semi-skilled. And I'm going to need at least another...
Reporting.
Gunnery 3 is too low. And I don't need another scout at this point, and it's got sensor lock. I don't want sensor lock. We're going to have to check for other mech warriors at another location. Alright, so, next thing we can do, navigation.
All decks report normal activity.
Before we head off to the next priority mission, we got any hubs around here we can actually reach? High gravity, moderate population. Nope, nope, that won't work. Black market access there, but we don't have access to that black market yet. High gravity, low gravity, moderate population moons. There wasn't much there for sale. I think we're going to have to head back to Weldry after all. Basically what I'm trying to think of here is, can I run some more light support missions just to get money flowing while I'm waiting for the rest of my crew to come up? Because the other thing is with the priority missions is they tend to have higher level mechs as well, and I would like to have the A-team together to start sniping out whoever shows up essentially as the boss mechs for the missions. At the moment, I'm 48 days about away from having that happen, so that's at least one full cycle, and I've just spent 800,000 fixing mechs, so I need to rotate some missions. But there's not really much here that I want to keep doing, and there's nothing here to buy. That's an ambush convoy. I hate ambush convoy missions. We've got a battle, base capture. The battle's okay at 3, but all of my good mechs are down, although I've got the Warhammer and stuff still floating around, but I'm also down all my good pilots for the moment. And the only travel contract I'm getting offered to cover fees is the Weldry mission. Although 20 days should be enough to get a couple of mechs up and running. We'll take the mission, we'll do the War Council. And we'll see what's floating around in Weldry. At the very least, we should have a better position to be able to sell the mechs there as well.
That work order is complete, boss. Top-notch work, if I may say so.
Research tags can have good stuff. Yeah, that was what I was thinking about, but it's throwing the mech in the throwing in the other direction. So we'll see how this works, and then I might have to go operating around again and see what we find. All right, so nearly 600,000 on operating expenses. Yeah, we'll just go normal. Yeah, we'll just go normal for this month because I'm not going to be hopefully doing anything too high priority until next month. Now, we're on 3 million at the moment. I do have mechs to sell, which I will be selling when we arrive at Weldry. So I need upgrades in the meantime. So the drive system will shot down our travel time, although I'm not too concerned about that at the moment because the travel time is giving us time to repair. Med bays might be more important, but that's 2.25 million on its own for 20 days. Well, that does gonna give us a better chance to not lose. So that's... I might have to take that option, although it's risky. 450,000 for the arcade, increase morale. 450 for the hydroponics garden, so the arcade is the better option because it's the same cost. +1 for the library, yep. +2 on the low G pool. Alright, so we'll put in the arcade. Oh, no, we really need that now. Screw it, let's go deep. 2.25.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit.
Let's upgrade the med bays again. Mech Bay 3 is really good to help cut down on the refit time. Yeah, I'm more concerned. The refit time is nice. The 4 tech points is great. And having the extra mech slots available is useful as well. But like, this would have been the cheaper option. But I really need the extra medical points. I need the expanded med bay. I've got too many injured pilots at the moment, and I need to get them sorted out. 20 days, the +2 should... It should knock nearly 10 days recovery time off of Medusa. So instead of still being, when that's completed, instead of still being 25 days remaining or 20 days remaining, give or take, should be 10 or less. So that'll help. And in future, that'll cut down the repair, cut down the bolt together times for the pilots. Funnily enough, that's where I'm having more of my issue at the moment. I just don't have enough skilled pilots, and the good ones keep getting injured or shot.
We're nearly broke, Commander.
Yeah, I know we're nearly broke. It's alright. Once we arrive at Weldry, I've got a whole bay and belly of mechs that I'm going to sell off, and we'll be fine again. Sorry for sidetracking, but playing Crusader Kings 3 reformed the I have no idea to pronounce that. The faith? The Norse faith. Okay, thank you. And Odin's Pope is a French guy called Gargamel. Must have grown bored hunting Smurfs. Okay. And jump. I love these animations for the travel. The travel is done so well in this. And the general travel animations are just fantastic. God, I hope they make a Battletech too.
We're almost completely out of cash.
I know we're nearly completely out of cash. I'm well aware we're nearly completely out of cash. Financial report is in 15 days. We have 800,000. Our next repair will be 600,000. So we've got still got a 200,000 credit buffer, and we've got like 20 mechs in the bay that we can sell. I'm not concerned. We've just got to get to Weldry in 3 days, and I'll start selling up before we begin. Proceed with the current contract. Not yet. Before we get to that, alright, let's go down to the mech bay. Alright, let's check out what we got in storage at the moment. So, starting off, assault parts. We got Annihilator parts, Battlemaster parts, Stalker parts, Awesome parts, and Zeus parts. We're not going to sell any of those. Alright, so we have 2 K2 catapults we can sell, 1 C4 catapult still sitting there that we can sell that are ready to go out immediately. That should solve most of our money problems. Medium-wise, well, let's just go to the store. Alright, so, before we even look at anything there we can potentially buy. Alright, so the 2 K2s. I'm going to sell both of those. There's 1.1 million back in the bank. We'll sell that C4. We've still got another one. Centurion, Crab. Yeah, we'll sell the Locust. I normally keep it around as a pet, but we're running low on cash here. The Trebuchet can go, because I'm never going to use that again. In fact, we can sell both of those. Going to sell the Wolverine as well. And it's from 4.2. I'm never going to use the Blackjack again, so we can go. I'll keep the Centurion and the Crab. They're nice to have around as backups. That gets us back to 4.6. Alright, so what do we have spare? They do have an awesome part for 800,000. How many parts to the awesome did I have again? I only had one. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. That's really the only thing in there I'm interested in. I've already got a functional archer, so I don't need to worry about that. But the Q model, awesome. You know what? I might pick that up before I leave the planet. Just to have 2 parts, so the next awesome Q that I run across, I can just core it and be done with it. And yeah, there's nothing else in there that I'm really after. Weapons. Have we got any good replacement bits? LBX. Yeah, no, nothing but crap. Cockpit mod. We haven't got a comms system in here, though. I haven't got the double plus cockpit mod. Ooh. Heat bank. Again, tempting. Although I've just spent most of my back stock of mechs in order to get us back out of the hole we dug ourselves into with that last mission. That is tempting. There's a cockpit mod here that would go great in the Highlander to replace the one we lost a while back. The comm system, buddy, triple plus comm system here that would go 4+4 resolve gain. That would go great in the Marauder for its snipe. And we've got a heat bank here that we could clear up a ton on the Archer, whack that in, and it gives it another +20 max heat and a 10 plus 10 overheat threshold. And the Archer was the one that was overheating heavily the whole way through that. So that would alleviate some of that problem as well. There is a couple of nice things here. I could blow a couple of million really, really easy here. But let's see where we go to.
Hey boss,
Alright.
we've just completed those upgrades.
Med braid is finished. Restocking the kitchen. Darius meets you in the galley, bearing some unfamiliar fruits and a number of spice packets. Archangel returned from shore leave with gifts. A big bag of this produce, some spices, a bunch of meat from a hunting trip. I've got no idea what the animal is called, but the haunches are bigger than I am. He turns to one of the strange fruits in the light, and its colour shifts from green to iridescent purple. How do you feel about adding this to our stocks? It could make for a nice change of pace. Decide that unusual food is too risky, given the diverse origins of the crew. Applaud Archangel's generosity and welcome the treat. Archangel periphery. Anticipate a delicious meal since Archangel knows the area. Alright, if he knows the area, let's see how that goes. In the mess hole, Archangel charges his fellow mariner. Come on, back home we ate critters like this all the time. Well, not exactly like this. Our birds weren't furry, and they only had 2 legs. Samai's nose wrinkles as he pokes the meat with a fork. Technically, you'd think that'll make Archangel's mystery animal a monotreme, like a platypus or an echidna, but it does smell pretty good though. After the initial hesitation, the crew enthusiastically devours the evening's grand experiment and is soon toasting Archangel for a job well done. Morale increased by 1. I could have just given the entire crew food poisoning, but that's worked out nicely. Alright, financial reports in 10 days. The Highlander's back up in 10 days. Medusa's still 21 days out. Yeah, we're going to have to eat this financial report with no missions, because I can't pick up another one until I've completed this one, since it paid for our trip here.
Job's done, Commander.
Got a new financial report for you, Commander.
Yep, 590, that's fine. You know what? Let's go one generous. And if we're gonna eat that, yeah, if we're gonna eat that that monthly payment as well, might as well eat the next few to get Medusa out. So then we've got all of our mechs back up and our mech warriors functional. No techs, no mechs. After receiving a troubling message from Yang, you rush down to the mech way. Yang pushes between a mob of mech warriors and mech techs, entangled in a shoving match at the Thunderbolt's feet. A message welded into Thunderbolt's torso reads, no techs, no mechs. You depend on us. A scrawny mech tech with a black eye shoves a wrench in the mech jockeys to emphasize the word. We deserve respect, and that means a raise. You'll get what you deserve. Decker rushes forward, but Shocker and Yang pull him back from the tech. We're the ones risking our necks. Yang raises his voice before anyone else can comment. Shut your traps, all of you. How do you want to handle this, boss? As a mercenary crew, the option that I would like available would be to grab the mech tech who vandalized my Thunderbolt, my $1 million or million C-bill Thunderbolt, throw him out the airlock in front of all the other mech techs, and then execute his best mate. That would get the message across. Don't fuck with my shit. Disciplining the mech techs is going to cost us a tech reduction, unfortunately. But I'm not throwing money at these guys. And I'm not going to put the discipline onto Darius. You know, you're not wrong. You approach the mech techs taking a deep breath. We do depend on you. You bend down and pick up the scorched remnant of Thunderbolt's center torso. It crumbles between your fingers. And that's alarming, given what I've seen here today. It's one thing to voice your dissent, but your antics have endangered our pilots and cost this company who knows how much. You learn to air your grievances like professionals. You could stand to earn a lot more. The techs grumble, although they return to their stations. Decker gloats. Some of the mech techs don't bother hiding their disdain for you and Decker, glaring openly. Later that night, Yang brings a bottle of whiskey to your quarters. The mech techs are dragging their feet, but they'll snap out of it. Give them a month to gripe, and they'll get tired of yapping and get back to work. He fills your glasses. The two of you share a drink in silence. Company suffers a -3 tech point penalty for 30 days. Decker has gained the following tags for 30 days. High spirits. Alright, well, we've got no mechs to repair at the moment, so that's not so much of an issue, but, yeah. Yeah, my reaction, if the game gave me the option for it, would be to, yeah, throw the person who damaged my mechs out the airlock, shoot another one on the floor, and then essentially fire most of the mech tech staff and hire an entirely new crew, because clearly they're not worth having if they're going to damage my shit rather than fix it. And you will lick that welded vandalism off my mechs unless you want to learn the breathing vacuum. Yeah, there's something along those lines. Like, this is a spacecraft. We rely on those mechs in order to be able to pay everything and to make everything function. If they're not happy, and they say, look, we want a raise, I'd probably consider it. They break my shit and then ask for it. That's putting this crew, this ship, and the equipment that funds the entire organization at risk. And being as the environment that this ship operates in, you know, the vacuum of space, and every time we exit it to a planet, we're generally being shot at, there is no room for fucking around. It's not allowed. Or maybe I'm just a hard ass. I don't know. Unfortunately, they don't give me the option of throwing the leader out, so it's all academic. Alright, so Medusa is back in play. Let's launch the contract and see what we've got coming up.
And I promise you that our forces are maintaining a firm upper hand against this false restoration, thanks in part to the support of our newfound allies in the Taurian Concordate. Just today, those allies, led by the heroic Commodore Samuel Austin, liberated my own daughter, Victoria, from insurgent captivity. And though the fight was hard, our new friends won the day through the strength of their courage and the virtue of their purpose. Soon, we will end this war. And when we do, we will turn our attention back to the expansion of our industry and the betterment of our people. Long live the Taurian Concordat, and long live the Oregon Directorate!
Devil Risen, that was a big gun. Yeah, that was a long-tom artillery battery. Mounted to the side of a dropship. Anna Maria, I summon you here to discuss long-term strategy, but we have a crisis to address. You've all seen my uncle's broadcast, what Ostergaard did to Lord Corsair, and what his soldiers are still doing to the people of Smithon. I'm on about to ride to their defence. Camilla, you've got much bigger things to worry about than Smithon. I won't mince words. Your cause is very nearly lost. With only a small fraction of their fleet, the Taurians have you dramatically outgunned. Given the chance, the Librita, I have no idea how to pronounce that, alone could break your army in two. Why are the Taurians fighting the Directorate? Do you have any concrete answers? It's probably because we killed that asshole's son. Well, I imagine there's probably some bribe money going involved there as well. They've probably been backing from the beginning, but they've got a little bit of an extra reason. If Commodore Ostergaard wants to hunt us, he has to find us. The Reach is a big place. We fought against the Taurians and Atreyu. We know what we're up against. Let's talk about how we're going to win this. Yeah, let's just go for the end. Not through direct confrontation. If you let Ostergaard bait you into attacking him on Smithton, you will die, as will Lady Arano. This isn't hyperbole, Camilla. You will die if you take the field against him, and your restoration will perish with you. What would you counsel me to do then? Nothing? Would you have me sit on my hands while the Taurian butcher murders the people I've sworn to protect? I would advise you to lead your army wisely and stay out of the battles you cannot win. See, why isn't she in charge of this? She seems to actually have a clue. Much less of a hothead than her. Camilla, listen to me. There is still hope, but you won't find it on the battlefield. The alliance between the Taurians and the Directorate is tenuous, far more so than they would have you believe. Protector Cauldron knows what kind of man your uncle is. We could turn allies into enemies if we play our cards right. Origin betrayed. Colorin was supposed to be a sharp guy. He doesn't take a genius to see that trusting a usurper is a dangerous move. That's probably the smart one. That's my backing. If it's true, why would he join forces with Espinosa in the first place? As a long-term goal, I'm all for it, but what do you recommend we do in the short term? Now, Origin betrayed. And no, it doesn't, but even as we speak, my agents are digging for information that will open a rift between our enemies. For what it's worth, I am confident they will find it. But none of this will mean anything if you let Ostergaard goad you into a sort of suicidal charge, so I beg you, ignore him, stay away. She can't do that, Lady Centrella. If you'd been here when we liberated this system, you would have seen the things we've seen. You'd know better than to ask. Camilla, I appreciate your advice, Anna Maria, but were I to follow it, the Auguran people would lose faith in me, and they'd be right to do so. I owe it to them to be better than that, and so I will fight, but not in a way that our enemies expect. Tell me what you mean. Ostergaard expects me to deploy my army against his forces on Smithton, to lead them to the front, as I have in our battles with the Directorate. You've convinced me that this is a risk I cannot take, and so if he expects me to come with him with a hammer, I'll use a scalpel instead. I'll trust your company is up to the task, Hunter. If the price is right, sure, it'll be your scalpel. That is obviously the correct answer. My company alone against a Taurian assault force, it will be an adventure. Do I have a choice? No, if the price is right. I am a mercenary. There you have it. That's my answer. I won't take the field myself, and I won't redirect my army, but I'll be damned if I let Ostergaard's troops slaughter my people without a fight. Your mercenaries have been one of your key advantages in the war, Camilla. By doing this, you're putting them at grave risk, but if your heart's set on returning to Smithton, I'm powerless to stop you. Instead, I'll wish you good luck and take my leave. I'll be in touch when my agents know more, but please, Camilla, stay safe. I don't know if I can stabilize the Reach without you. I won't let Ostergaard kill me. I promise. Devil Risen. Oh, I picked up a second Atlas and we're halfway to a beefy boy pack. A beefy boy stack. Found a pink Highlander hero mech. Ugh. Color's terrible, but the Highlander's a good mech. Yeah, if you haven't got an Atlas, the Highlander is definitely a great option. That's why I like the one that I've got here. So just 2 more to actually get a Steiner Scout Lance put together. Lady Arano's contract to repel the Taurian assault on Smithon is ready for your review in the command center. We should follow it up when you think we are ready. Alright, so... anytime. There we go. Defense Smithton. 22 days travel time to get to Smithton. Rewards 1.4 million. Priority mission 3 skull. Earlier reports suggest a tight battlefield. Because of this, we recommend a lance loadout that strikes a balance of mobility, durability, and firepower. Further details will be provided upon your arrival. Yeah, my standard lance is probably not bad for this. But we do have some other missions that we can potentially pull off first. So, we need to make a little bit of money. 4 salvage maximum, ambush convoy, destroy base, attack and defend. Highlands. Six salvage, 1.2 million. That sounds like another too good to be true. Space is a critical logistical center for us, primarily for food and medicine. If we lose it, our forces in the region will be hamstrung. A major Taurian strike force is deployed in the region. We've just gotten word that they've seized an auxiliary base near the logistics facility and are using it as a staging point for further assault. We need you to level that auxiliary base and cut off their offensive. Yeah, attack and defense missions are difficult for their rating. Much more. They're much more like what that last mission was like. I don't really feel like doing another one of those. But it's tempting. 1.2 million, and we get 6 salvage out of it. 3.5 skull. Yeah, it could just all be crap. I was sort of hoping we'd have another assassination mission, or at least a straight battle. But they're all out of the area. 1.3 million. 1.1. 16 days travel to get to those, but that's paid for. Is this the campaign or a flashpoint? This is the campaign. I'm playing through the campaign in its entirety in vanilla, no mods. And as soon as it's completed, I'm going to start modding it with Battletech Advanced. There's 2 Battletech Advanced mods. I've gone through this before, but we're going to do the first one, which brings it up to, I believe, it plays up to 3057, the start of the FedCom Civil War sort of period. And then there's a second mod that starts at the start of the FedCom Civil War, and I'm going to play through that one as 2 different mercenary companies, which plays through into like the late 3100s, or the just before the 3100s. I'm almost thinking we just do Smithton, but if we're going to do Smithton, let's have a quickly jump to the bays for a second. Alright, Highlander. Let's check your refit. Yeah, SRM ammo's in the bottom of the legs, so that's where that's sitting. Nothing in the head. Alright, so we have nothing in the head. We are going to buy that one.
New equipment available.
+1. That's a +4 resolve. That's really useful for strikes we got coming in. If I had an Atlas, I'd buy the mortar. I'd buy the mortar if I had an Atlas, but I just don't have an Atlas to mount it on. Don't really have anything that's super valuable to mount it on in general. 4. That'll drop us to 3. Yep, we'll buy that one.
New equipment available.
Buy the heat bank. 2.6. We're going to drop down to a sub 2 million because I'm also... mech parts and that cannot be purchased while we're in the mech lab. Okay, I'll have to buy that up. But I'm going to buy the awesome part as well. So if we run into another awesome, I can, even if I don't have time to pull it apart, I can just core the bastard and take its bits. Alright, so Highlander. We got a little bit of time to refit you. Cockpit mod in. So that's a +3 injury resist. And it's cheap to fix. It's only going to cost me a day. We'll confirm that one. That modification's getting done straight away. That's no extra cost for that. It's just a reinforcement. Now the Marauder, same deal again. We're going to do a refit on it. Instead of the cockpit protection, you're getting the comms system. So with the comms system and the Lance command mod, the Marauder is going to be sort of a linchpin. It's my main sniper mech for taking out, for doing the headshotting. It's all geared for that. And it's giving critical shot bonus, cold shot bonuses, damage reductions, and now resolve gains for everybody in the entire squad. So it's essentially my command mech now.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Now the Archer. Now your problem is trying to keep your damn heat under control. Why is all of your ammunition in your chest? Jesus Christ, what the hell am I doing? SRM, LRM, LRM. It's because you're mostly stock. Why are you mostly stock? I have no idea. No, I have changed this around a little bit. The armor reduction in the rear. Now, the equipment that I'm after here with the heat bank. Heat bank can be mounted pretty much anywhere from the looks of it. But I am going to need to clear a ton. So we're going to pull 1 ton of LRM ammo to fit the heat bank into place, and that should keep us cycling the weapons. Plus 75% SRM stability damage on the built-in suite. You know, it would almost be tempting, just for shits and giggles, if I had enough, you know, enhanced SRM systems. Oh, it's got the LRM clustering as well, but it's tempting. Pull the LRM 15s and just fill this thing up with SRMs and just have it suicide charge directly at the enemy, and then alpha strike them with SRMs at optimal range, and then 75% stability damage across all of the LRMs that it cycles through, and just keep running that over and over again. Drop the SRMs and add more cooling. Honestly, it'd be better to drop the we put the heat bank in place, but I'm almost more tempted with the missiles in this one. You know, we'll do this. We'll drop the 2 mediums and actually whack heat sinks in the center on the mediums. I don't like dropping the SRMs because this thing does get SRM bonuses, and also the SRMs, the Archer tends to get into close range eventually. If you take away the SRMs, it loses most of its main punch when it gets to that. So I'd rather keep the SRMs involved, or the SRMs included. Is that a 2 miss or a 4? They're both there. 2 SRM4s and 2 LRM15s. As standard, as well as 2 Meade lasers in the arms. Although, actually, just thinking about it, we put the heat sinks in the legs, leave the Meade lasers in the center torso, and then the arms are essentially just... actually, we can even pull armor out of the arms, drop them down to 80, just use them as shields. I can crank the armor up. So let's pull a little bit more out. And I crank the armor up on the front of the Archer. That's not bad. That's not bad. PMC Collector Boy. I preferred Cats to Archers, but given the choice, I love K2s. See, I'm not a huge K2 fan. I think the K2 is awesome just because of what the catapult is and how interchangeable it is, being able to pull the missile boxes off and mount PPCs in its place. But the K2 is... It is a bogan fit mech. Like, let's be honest. Like, they've given it... I actually don't like the way the K2 is presented in modern Battletech with the mech redesigns, because the way it's got, cowlings over the PPCs and it looks all smooth and clean. That's not how it's supposed to be. In lore, that was literally a backyard refit for catapults that had so much damage to their missile racks that they were unrecoverable, or they needed a PPC dispenser, and it was literally an exposed PPC mounted to the side where the boxes would normally be. There was no design cowling or anything. It was just, some welder had found some scrap steel to make a mount to mount a PPC in and then bolted it to the side of a catapult. That's what the K2 was. It was just, it was backyard bogan, well, it's a bogan Australian term, redneck engineering. Redneck engineering is what created the K2, and if you look at what the K2 looked like pre the MechWarrior Online redesign of that particular version of the mech, that's exactly what it is. It's the head of the catapult. Actually, MechWarrior 4's got a near perfect example of it. It's the cockpit of the catapult, the lugs that the missile racks would mount to, and then you can see exposed power cables running through, and the PPCs aren't actually level on each side. They're sort of mounted off-center on each side, and there's cooling fins bolted onto the outside to try and give it a little bit of extra cooling on the externals, and part of one of the heat sinks that's supposed to be trying to keep the K2 cool is actually exposed because it's mounted on the back of the metal mount where the PPC's bolted on. It was just completely, redneck, buddy, bogan, backyard bastardization build. And I love it because it shows what the catapult is capable of. But the catapult itself, I almost always keep pure with missile racks if I've got them. The reason why I don't use them over the archers now is, well, what you saw in the last mission, the amount of fire that's get thrown around. If the archer gets focused by a major group, it's likely to survive a few rounds of directed fire, enough that I'll be able to react to it and keep the thing running. A catapult, once you start facing assault mechs, will get caught in a single shot. The cockpit is mounted directly to the front of the main chassis. If somebody aims at the main chassis with a Gauss rifle and takes a hit, I got some bad rolls there, but it's entirely possible the AI will get a good roll, and they'll call your catapult like that, and you'll lose it in one round. That's why I don't take them later. Earlier on in the game, if you can get one when you're only facing up to heavy mechs, the catapults, whether it's a K2 or a C-Fit with LRMs, are devastating. Especially if you can get a couple of them, fill them both, like you saw in that last mission. But once you start facing assault mechs, they're not so good. I tended to outfit my K2s with the LBXs and PPCs are just too heavy for their damage. Yeah, well, that's there's art for those as well, where it's the same deal. It's the like LBXs or just autocannons in general mounted on those racks where the missiles would normally be, but they've got exposed like cannon shell belts that run out of ammunition boxes that are sitting in behind the cockpit. So you got these big like Vietnam styles, 50 cal ammunition belts coming out of these ammunition boxes and just dropping down underneath where the missile racks would normally be, and then coming up into the side of the autocannons that are mounted on the side of the mech. I prefer the old style of art. I like it looking like that, where it's just a bit of bullshit. It's great. But unfortunately, they made them all, the modern K2 all pretty like it's a production model, and they some engineer deliberately designed a catapult to operate this way. And like, no, it wasn't. There was never an official K2 build. The original name for the catapult was actually catapult with a K rather than a C, and it was it was a backyard bastard job mech. It was great for that reason. It's lost something in the fact that they've made it all shiny. Alright, so 5 days to get you ready to rock and roll. Now, we've got the Zeus, we've got the Orion. Zeus is probably the better option here. What can we do with you? Equipment prize, we do have another cockpit mod floating around. That's probably the best option because that's got no weight. There's no weight cost to that. It's just a straight up bonus. That's why if you're playing this, whenever you can get these cockpit mods, always pick them up. They don't actually add any extra weight to the mech. They just straight up add health to your pilot, keep them alive longer, or allow them to take a certain amount of damage before they actually start taking injuries. That's really about it. So last thing to do now is to go back to the store from the main menu, and we are going to pick ourselves up that awesome, and hopefully we'll run into another one soon enough.
New equipment available.
That leaves us at 1.7. We don't really have a lot else we can sell, I don't think. I think we just about cleaned it out. So I'm going to go to store. Selling. Really don't like it's under 2 million. What have we got in here that we can sell? There's always got to be some crap in here somewhere. 48 LRM ammo. We don't need that much. That's 57, so that's not much. I'm not selling the Gauze ammo. That's too hard to come across. Jump jets. Yes, we can sell a whole bunch of those. Hang on. Those ones. I need to keep about 10 on hand. I don't think I need 86 heat sinks. 200,000. That gets us back up over 2 million, so that's a little better. And yeah, I think I'll keep the rest of our parts. Alright, that should do. Alright, we covered a little bit of cash there. We've got a couple of mechs that are being modified and improved. 18 days to the next financial report. And we are going to take our contract for the defense of Smithon.
Calculating course now, Commander.
I had a Cat C4 that I used to just mount Infernos and Narcs, and it took 2 AC-20 rounds from a King Crab and lived, just because I dumped all that free weight into armor.
I wrapped up that job you asked for.
Yeah, until you wanted to get that one weird mech with a weapon in the head, it's either one or the other. Oh yeah. Yeah, until you get that one weird mech with a weapon in the head. Well, unless it's something special with the weapons. Usually the weapons mounted in the heads are only small lasers. And you'll notice none of my mechs have small lasers. I pull them all. I don't bother with them. The usage cases for small lasers are small enough that I just simply do not care. Alright. Ship upgrades. Everything is expensive. It's 500,000 whichever way I look at it at the moment. Yeah, screw it. Let's get the arcade for the morale bonus.
I'll get the crew moving.
1.6. I can make the rest of that out. That's okay. Grasshopper has a missile in its head, but it can only fit an SRM-4. Yeah, well, I'd leave the SRM-4 if I had nothing else to put in there. But if I had to choose between that, like if I was using the Grasshopper actively and I had to choose between the SRM-4 and enhancing the hit points of my pilots, I'll take the hit point option every single time. Like I love my SRMs, but something the size of a Grasshopper, you can make up for one SRM-4. Like it's not a critical loss if it's gone. And yeah, anything with a small laser, even if I don't have something to put in the head slot, I'll pull the SRMs anyway and use the extra weight into armor. I don't see the point. Flamers are only really useful if you have a dedicated mech that is set up for flaming. And considering you can only deploy 4 mechs in the Battletech in this game, so you can... Okay, that was a little bit of a freeze there, that was odd. Since you can only deploy 4 mechs, having one mech set up as a dedicated heat generation platform only leaves you with 3, and it's not worth it, in my opinion. At best, when it comes to mechs in this, because you've only got access to the 4, this is actually one of the biggest restrictions with the fact that you can only deploy 4 mechs on the battlefield. The fact that you can only deploy 4 changes what you can afford to really deploy versus the amount of mechs you're in. You can face 2, 3, even 4 Lancers in some of these missions simultaneously. So, you know, potentially up to 16 battle mechs versus your 4, and you've got to pick and choose what you have. You can't afford to really take, when you're min-maxing against some of the really high-end groups, you can't afford to take anything that isn't optimized. The most you can really afford that isn't sort of a frontline brawler that's able to fight heavy armor that you can afford is something like my Archer, which is a support, and it's solely there so that when one of my heavy pilots is usually also a scout. Once they target lock anything up that's still approaching in that we haven't got visual on, the Archer can start stripping the armor off them as they're coming in, and ideally, everything working okay, the Archer will get into a good position, preferably in some water if it's available, to keep itself cool, and then we'll just cycle the missiles over and over again on whatever target I'm going to hit next to take off some of that armor, just in general, by showering it in LRMs until the next mech can come in and just cut a hole straight through its core or blow off whatever parts that I'm looking to remove. That's the most I can afford to budget. I can't afford anything else that's specialized, and anything with small lasers or flamers has to be a specialized mech. Otherwise, you're just wasting weapons that could be in armor tonnage. So that's what you swap around. It's why MechWarrior 4 is actually another reason why MechWarrior 4 is superior to MechWarrior 5, because MechWarrior 5 has the same issue. You can only deploy 1 Lance. You can do it in co-op, which is cool, but you can only deploy 1. In MechWarrior 4, in some of the missions, they'll let you deploy 2 full Lances. So you can start messing around with what mechs you've got. You can have a Scout Lance, and then you can have an Assault Lance. You can have one Lance that's optimized for just support, like a really heavy support Lance, 4 catapult C4s. Or you can run a light scout group that's set up with flamers that'll charge in ahead of your assault mechs and essentially overheat all the enemy before you arrive, and then you blow them apart. It's not a strategy game like this, but it actually allows that option because it allows for 2 Lancers to be deployed. The restriction on a lot of builds that you can actually use is based entirely around how many mechs you're allowed to play with to begin with. Tell, the Firestarter was worth bringing early on, but later on, screw that. Bring something heavy that can take the hits and bring the pain. Even then, I don't think the Firestarter's worth deploying even at the start of the game, unless you literally have no other option. You know, if there is literally nothing else that you can deploy on the battlefield, if you have no other options, I'd take a Firestarter out. But otherwise, I would take almost any other direct damage mech that's available of any kind. Hardly went anywhere without the Marauder because of the ability to delete a mech with a cold headshot that was good to not use. Well, that's why I've fallen in love with my Marauder. I had all sorts of trouble with it in the first place, but I didn't have a pilot that was good enough to actually use that ability. Now I've got a pilot that can use that ability. That's why I waited all that time to get Marauder back, because Marauder is Marauder, buddy. I've had a brain block on which character it is now. The pilot for my Marauder is set up to be able to have that ability for the 35% bonus. And now, yeah, you're right. That Marauder's not leaving. That's why I just threw another million at the Marauder to give it the 3+ comm system. No, Decker generally runs my second heavy. He runs my second heavy because the way I've got Decker set up, he's still a scout, but he's full down the tactics line. So he's specifically set up to get the advanced turn on whatever weight class he's driving. So I have him in a heavy or an assault, and he drives it like a medium or a heavy. So he gets a turn faster than everybody else. So he's there for my quick strike. My character's set up to drive the main assault mech. He's the guy driving the Atlas in the long run, if everything works to plan. Yeah, I'll pull the character up in a second. But I've got them set up as a dedicated sniper for that reason. And yeah, that's why I just threw another million at the Marauder, because it's not going anywhere, so I'm turning it into a full-on command mech. Anyways, quarantine. Darius assembles the staff for an emergency meeting. Archangel has contracted a contagion, potentially contagious. It's getting late and I'm not reading properly, my apologies. Has contracted a contagious, potentially fatal disease, likely from a recent shore leave excursion. Well, he shouldn't have been sticking his dick in everything. We need to isolate the entirety of Medbay until he recovers, but I've notified the local authorities. They believe they've encountered a local strain of the periphery pox, and can provide targeted drugs for 80,000, a steep price but probably necessary. So my volunteers, I know somebody at a pharmaceutical lab. They've been looking at somebody to test the new antivirals on. It'll be 200,000 to get it on the ground floor, but it would give us permanent access to the drug. Make do with existing supplies. 80,000 for the targeted medication, or 200,000 for the antivirals. We're down to 800,000. And it probably comes down to recovery time. And we're 4 days out of Smithon. This is a prick of a time for this one to pop up. Archangel got space coof, shut down everything. Quarantine the ship. Yeah, I might regret this. No, targeted medication, I can't. God damn it, Archangel, where you'd have to stick your dick in everything every time we stop at a port. Yeah, right. We'll risk it. Archangel is quarantined in one of the med bays, and the medication is administered. He is soon joined by Picnic, and not long after that, Decker falls ill as well. Rumour and fear spread faster than the virus, with stories of disfiguring boils, raging fevers, and delirium. Everyone finds themselves praying to whatever gods they worship, but the drugs provided by the planet do their job, stopping the contagion in its tracks. Nobody else gets sick, but the 3 mech warriors who are infected are going to face a long, slow road to recovery. Great. Archangel will be unavailable for 45 days. Picnic will be unavailable for 21 days. The company suffers -3 morale points penalty for 45. Morale decrease for 2. You lose 80,000. Decker lost the following tags: high spirits, and will be unavailable for 7 days. That's fucked. 45 days out for Archangel. 4 days out of landing at Smithton for a priority mission.
Ready to go over financials whenever you are.
That was shit
Our
timing.
nest egg is just about gone, Commander.
Yeah, I know. You don't need to keep reminding me. And there's the flip and burn into orbit. Again, the animations for this for the ship are so much better.
There's something very wrong with the gin you picked up on Liarton. If you have any,
No yet. Not yet. Not yet. I'm going to need Deca operational.
everyone's sake, don't drink it.
This could have been worse, though. My character's back in. Medusa. Medusa is my dedicated sniper. Although, interestingly, he doesn't have the sniping perk. But he is my sniper for this. I need Decker up and running. And it looks like Shocker's going to get a seat in a priority mission, because that's going to be a requirement. Yep. Yep, Shocker is going to get a shot. So we just got to wait long enough for Decker to actually clear medbay. So he needs to wait another 3 days. Right. The morale kick is not going to help either. I was hoping for the high morale points, because that'll give us more for the snipes once we're on the ground, but... my mechs for the final campaign battle were Highlander, King Crab, Stalker, and Annihilator. Yeah, unfortunately, we have not found... In fact, actually, King Crab. King Crab is my fucking unicorn in this game. I have seen one King Crab in all the playthroughs I've done on this. One King Crab in the campaign. That's it. I've never got an Annihilator. I've got parts put aside for one. I think one part of Annihilator, but I've never completed an Annihilator. I have had a Stalker, and I've obviously got the Highlander. I've only ever gotten one Atlas, but I've only ever seen one King Crab. Just one. Never actually got one in my collection. So, yeah, it's my unicorn. If I can find one, I absolutely want that thing. Alright, Decker can drive the Orion. I get my character down here and stick him in the Highlander, so he's in the mech that he's supposed to be in the first place. Medusa is driving the Marauder, as should, and Shocker is driving the Archer. Well, I'm almost tempted. We have the Zeus and the Warhammer here. Yeah, we'll pull the Orion. Put the Zeus in play. Huh. The zoo. Oh. I'm just looking at the armor values. The Zeus's is actually lower. Despite being slightly heavier. I think I'm going to keep with the Orion at 75 tons rather than upgrading to the 80 ton. I threw the cockpit mod into it. I didn't even check the armor values. We've only got, if you look up here, we've got 611 on structure, so it's higher on the than the Orion and the Warhammer on structure, which is to be expected. But it's only got 1,000 armor. Warhammer's at 1,200, and the Orion's at 1,320. that Zeus is going to need more than just the addition in there. That Zeus is going to need to be stripped and overhauled. I'm going to have to reassign everything in it. It'll be better on heat, but it lacks significant amount of firepower for it. Yeah, I might need to overhaul that Zeus completely from scratch, completely new build for it. That's 1,000. That's way too low. I'm not happy with that at all. Alternatively, I might sell the Zeus. It would solve some of money problems at the moment and drop an 80 tonner. Although selling 80 tonners is a bit. A Zeus and the Orion are usually two of the heaviest of assault class that I do sell early on if I've got better replacements. But like even the Thunderbolt has more armor. Yeah, I think Zeus might have to go. Oh, we'll stick with the Orion. The Orion's all set up. Marauder, Orion, Archer, and Highlander. I didn't like the Warhammer until I got the Star League version. Even with the double cooling, it was still hotter than hell. Yeah, the Warhammer is hotter than hell, but the main reason I keep the Warhammer around is because it's a fucking Warhammer. It's an awesome piece of kit. I love this machine. It just looks angry, so I keep it solely for the fact that, well, it's. You notice I'm not deploying it. It's a second line mech. Generally, the reason why I've got this set up the way it is I'm running 2 lances. This is my primary lance for running missions, for high difficulty missions, and obviously running any of the priority missions. When I'm trying to save money and these are down and I'm trying to make it, if any of these are damaged, I just cycle all this out, pick like a 2 or 3 skull mission, and I cycle in a second set of mechs, which is usually the Warhammers, the Quick Draws, the Dragons, the Thunderbolts. That's what this is all about. And they run the secondary missions just to generate money so that I'm not just hitting the button and letting the clock run forward so I don't run out of money like I am now. I haven't been doing enough of that. I've been running too many targeted missions, which is why I'm low on cash. But that's what this setup is actually set up for. But I keep the Warhammer on the second line. A 2 or a 3 skull mission, the Warhammer is a devastating piece of gear. But you're right, it does run way too hot on the higher end ones. And even if you get the Star League one, you're still going to run into the same problem because Warhammers run hot. It's what they do. 75-ton chassis trying to pack an assault mech's worth of energy weapons in it. It gets toasty. But awesome looking piece of kit and one of the iconic mechs. The Atlas is the face of the Inner Sphere in Battletech and Warhammer now. Battletech and MechWarrior now. Same as the Timberwolf is the face of the Clan mechs. But prior to the rework of the Atlas and it being pushed forward in MechWarrior Online, if you go back and have a look at the box art, MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries, the box art for that was the Warhammer. The Warhammer was the face mech for the Inner Sphere. Have you had bad luck with base defense? It's the only mission I constantly bingle. It's not so much I've had bad luck with them. My base defense missions generally go pretty well. I just find the mission annoying, same as convoys.
Initiated.
I find convoy missions to be a pain in the ass. Kamiya Arano. The spaceport in front of you is packed wall to wall with civilians, most of them refugees from the capital. The Taurians have been targeting them as enemy combatants. I need your help to keep these people safe until we can evac them to safety. I have 3 of Lord Corrosa's dropships en route to assist with the evacuation. The captain of each vessel will call in on approach. Shepard 1 will be heading for docking pad Alpha. Shepard 2 is set to dock at pad Charlie. And Shepard 3 is set to dock at pad Bravo. You'll need to keep the enemy's eyes on you and away from the docking pads. Above all, you need to keep them from firing on the docking pads' fuel reservoirs while the dropships are being loaded. Yeah, we've seen what happens when that happens before. The hostiles that you fail to engage will almost certainly target the fuel tanks. If they manage to take one out, the resulting explosion will wipe out everything nearby, dropships, refugees, you name it. You can see the fuel tank's estimated blast radius in the red on your screen.
Good luck, Commander. The Taurians aren't going to make this easy. Protect our ships. Help them get our people home safe.
Yeah, this mission. All right.
Orders?
Do I try it at 30% and go? No, we're just going to go for the sensor lock.
Got a lock.
Mess with its evasion. And then when Hunter comes into his turn, he can just basically delete that thing.
What do you need? Coordinates received.
Still a hard hit. Pull the large laser out. Pull that medium laser out as well. Yeah, we'll cycle 240s on the PPC, one medium. Just a hard target to hit. God damn it. As long as you keep attacking those hostiles, they won't be able to focus on the fuel tanks. Keep pressuring them, Commander. Has to be. Has to be a friggin' Jenner. What we got back here? Enforcer, Jenner. I'm going to get rid of these Jenners because they're going to be the biggest pain in the ass.
Commander.
Let's have a look at what your attack options are here. Yeah, still too low. Just walk up and punch it in the face. That works.
I think I just hit on something special.
Ooh. Oh, hello. Yeah, you're coming with me. Marauder, we have a target. Now, damn it, not going to be able to get close enough to give the Jenner a Highlander burial. All right. Well, you can hit it with everything. So let's do that.
All weapons committed.
Okay, so the Gauss rifle, everything else was completely unrequired. The Gauss rifle just completely sheared the cockpit off the front of that thing, and that was it. I wasn't expecting that, but I'll take it. Jenner's a friggin' annoying. Great little mechs, by the way. I'm not saying they're terrible mechs. They're actually fantastic mechs. That's the problem. They're fast, they're extremely mobile, they're extremely difficult to hit. Right, Shepard 1 is incoming. Full burn approach. Destination, Pad Alpha. We've got enemy flankers incoming. Engage them before they take out our dropships. What are the flankers?
Concentrate all fire on those dropships. Take them out, or you'll have Ostergaard to answer to.
Oh, well, we'll be working on that. I just need to work out which way they're going to attack from, what path they're going to go through. They're probably going to go down here. Time to respond is probably not going to be great. Yep, here they come.
Commander.
Alright.
Waiting for orders. Move order received.
Right, so I need a couple up here to front these guys.
Got it.
Come on, Decker, you can shoot better than that. Such low chances to hit on those things. Enforcer going high, so it can shoot down.
Waiting for orders.
I really need Medusa around so I can get onto that Battlemaster, but
On my way.
yeah, I know.
Hostile on sensors.
Marauder's going to have to engage these two and hold them off. I really want the Marauder around, though, to pop the Battlemaster.
Right here. Mm-hmm.
Those are still terrible odds on both. Only 40% across the board. Why are you getting... Oh, they've got some pretty serious evasive bonuses here.
Firing everything.
God, you're a shit shot. That's why I wanted Archangel in here. Battlemaster's going high as well. I'll probably go one back. I'll have to take the Jenner out in the next round, at least it's being engaged. Alright, so Gore's rifle out on this cycle, LRM's out. Everything else into the Thunderbolt.
Engaging target.
Alright, Jenna's knocked down, but it's probably going to get up before we have a chance to actually do anything to it. At least the turrets are having some fun with the cold shots. Alright, they're going to be attack off the left, and I still haven't got the targets from the right yet. Targets on the right yet. Shepherd 1 has arrived. Yeah, more fast movers.
Advance. For honor, for liberty, and for the Taurian conquered it.
Have to keep those hostiles engaged, keep the pressure on, don't let the focus on the fuel reservoirs. Well, it's kind of difficult when they've gone to the top of a cliff and are shooting down. Maybe don't build a starport in such a shit position. Yeah, just putting that out there. You know, having to land ships into valleys would be a terrible idea in the first place, and then you're in a state of constant war, and you've just given the enemy the position to get optimal shooting positions down onto your dropship landing area. Like, this is a terrible location for a port.
Commander?
Alright. Keep the SRM-4s out. We can drop out with that. Just medium lasers and SRM should be enough to pop the Jenner.
I copy.
Cool, that's the generator plate. It won't get back up to engage. So
Enemy
it won't
down.
attack the you won't attack the fuel reservoirs. Now we've got to get that Vorsa engaged, and I've got to get
Ready for
Medusa.
orders.
Are you seriously trapped? Oh, Jesus Christ. Medusa is trapped underneath the wing of the dropship and is unable to move. I can't walk out of there. There was no option to move. Which means I can't do anything about these mechs. I've got nothing else in position. That was Medusa's job. We're going to lose that dropship and I'm going to lose Medusa. If that happens, I'm resetting this mission. That's shit. I can only turn on the spot.
I take no pleasure in this, Lady Arano, but we're under orders. You can end this by surrendering to Commodore Ostergaard. Until you do, your people will suffer for you.
And this is why all Taurians should be fed through a blender.
I'm listening.
Make the Taurians mince again. Shit, what am I going to do here? Well, the plan was to have the archer engage the mechs up on the ridge line, but instead, Shocker is going to have to engage them with LRMs from here. And hope that that's enough to keep them shooting over this way and not shooting at the fuel tanks. Because I'm a mech down until that dropship takes off. By default, there's nothing I can do about it. I've never seen that before. Just having a mech pinned like that. I've seen stupid events where dropships land on mechs that shouldn't be happening, but I've never seen one just get pinned and unable to move. Alright, so you I got 5%. Tell Mags, you astonish me with your ability to make the impossible possible. Yeah, I just wish it was in a good way.
All weapons committed.
Right, break that leg. Right, Thunderbolts engage, Enforcers engaged. I've got the Battlemaster under control. We're alright for the moment. Thunderbolts being engaged by the defences. Pilot head hit. Unfortunately, I misclicked when I was turning the Marauder. I should have turned it more and see whether or not I can, at the very least, get it into a position where it can fire from where it's currently sitting. Shepherd 2's arrived, and I've got no mechs to send over that way because one of my mechs is pinned under a fucking dropship. And the fire starter... No, fire starter's engaging. That's fine. Cool, they're all still tied up. Nope, the commando is going to continually shoot at the fuel tanks anyway. Doesn't care. Second commando is going to shoot at the fuel tanks anyway. So the Archer's missile attack wasn't enough. Wait, no, maybe it was. One of the commandos is going for the striker instead of the fuel tanks. That's firing PPCs at the fuel tanks on the other side, though, so that's more of a concern. We need to deal with that Jenner. That fuel tank's about to go. One more round, that fuel tank's going to pop.
Commander?
Alright, Medusa, what can we do with you? We can't move you at all. But if I turn you, I can actually get you to... I can get you to fire on the fire starter. Ah, there we go. Battlemaster, but line of sight's blocked because we can't move the mech. I will take that. Precision strike on the Battlemaster. 35% to head. Double PPC large laser. 95, 95, 80. 35 on head. If we're lucky, we can cut the head off the Battlemaster. Maybe. I'm not liking our chances, but we'll see.
Engaging target.
Head destroyed. Trapped underneath a wing,
down.
decapitated a Battlemaster. Nice. Well, that makes that this mission far more valuable because that's a recovery there. That was a gamble shot, but that helped. Alright, now, what I've got to do now, get the Orion around, and I need to attack that Panther, and I can only attack it with the AC-10, so by God, I hope this hits.
On it.
Thankfully it does. Hopefully that's enough to get the Panther to now engage the mechs rather than the fuel tanks. Thunderbolt, you're being a shit. I will deal with you momentarily.
Damage minimal.
Not only is that good salvage, that's a large mech off the field. Yeah, that's why I wanted that one first. It was worth the gamble. It was only 3 weapons, only a 35% chance to hit. But all 3 weapons had a good high chance to actually roll so that they get a chance at that 35. It's a 1 out of 3 shot, 3 times over. And if one of them lands, all 3 of those weapons have enough power to take the entire head in a single hit. So...
Yeah.
Risky. Very friggin' risky, but kinda didn't have much choice. Alright, so multi-target. 1 and 2. A and B. I don't know if these are going to hit, but I'm hoping I can distract the commandos.
Here we go.
Because this is... That was nothing. Although I did hit, so maybe... Come on. Come shoot the archer. I'm going to have to ignore the Thunderbolt for a turn. Only 1 turn, though. I can't afford it for much longer than that. Actually, the Archer's going to have to go at the Thunderbolt. And we have to multi-target as well. Alright, so Gore's Rifle at A, LRM's at B. Just to get the Jenner and the Panther hopefully to engage the Highlander.
Engaging multiple targets.
Well, if that doesn't get the Jenner's attention, I'm not entirely sure what will. And that was a better hit on the Panther. Because if they cycle at that fuel tank one more time on B, that one's going up. Shepherd 3's coming in. All right. Come on, Panther. Don't engage the tanks. Ah, good. No, it's engaging the shredder turrets. That's okay. As long as it's not shooting at that fuel tank, I don't care. That's brave. Yeah, well, 40% heat. That was enough to get him to start shooting turrets as well. Okay. Alright, so a fun little note here. If I can get the Marauder out of range, if that Commando and that the Spider on the other side over here, yeah, the Commando and the Spider move forward, I can take out the fuel tanks now.
Moving out.
There's nothing stopping me from popping the fuel tanks and blowing them up. Alright, so who do we have to attack? Who can we hit? So we've got the Thunderbolt. Got a Fire Starter. We got the Enforcer. Unfortunately, I don't think... No, I can hit the head from there. I'm going to take that roll again. 2 PPCs, large laser. Actually, this one. We might risk the overheat for a turn and go for 2 medium lasers rather than large. We'll slightly cook the Marauder. But it gives us an extra shot, an extra roll of the dice to get the head. Lethal damage. That's 2. I love that thing.
Target neutralized. My mech is overheating.
Alright, Marauder needs to cool down for a turn. That gets the Thunderbolt out of play.
Good to go.
Alright. Decker's still got a heat allowance, so that's fine. So I drop the Orion back. SRM4's on. Let's drop the autocannon off. This is going to run us fairly close to the 3 heat threshold as well.
Target acquired.
Yeah?
Right. I can sort of ignore those two off the side for a split. Let them close in. I'll deal with them in the next round. Although, which side is their fuel tank's over there? Yeah, so long as they don't have direct line of sight to that fuel tank, it's okay. They've got to move, and they've got to move across here, across the landing pad in order to be able to get there. If they go around this way, it's going to be unfortunate. If they go through this way first, trying to engage these turrets, I'm just going to blow that tank. And just nuke them both. What I really need to do is to make sure these two, and I can only hit one of them, stay in play with the archer. So, turn you around, target the Panther. It's only 30% again. This is because this pilot doesn't have great gunnery skills, but
Lock in target.
just got to keep that Panther's attention. I hope blowing the side off the Jenna was enough to keep it occupied. Alright. Might just punch the fire starter in the face. The Enforcer seems to be completely taken in by the Highlander at the moment, so... Although I didn't mean to give it the back armor, and we missed anyway too. Ah, that wasn't so good.
No damage detected.
That's kind of embarrassing. Shepherd 3's in, Shepherd 2 is departing. Okay, that means we don't have to worry about that one either. So that tank was getting really close. Now we've just got to defend the last one and kill everything.
Warning. Enemy in rear arc.
Yeah, it was a little nasty. Go on, that's right. Go in. That's right. Yes. Yes. It's okay, you can shoot it once. I don't mind. Just get your friend up there too. Come on. Come on, Commando. Get up in there. Oh, you can't take any more hits. And the Panther... Yeah, that's right. The Panther's still tied up with the turret. And the Jenna shouldn't have direct line of sight to that tank for this round. Alright, cool.
Yes, Commander.
Right.
Standing by.
Heat-wise, you've got a problem. I can't really afford to have you shoot just yet.
Orders?
Really need Shocker to take that shot. What's the best way to do this? Decker and the Orion. Alright, we'll see what we can do here. 2 rounds to protect the next one. You're going to overheat. But I pull one of the mediums out. Go twin SR, actually, pull one. Can we keep that medium in? No. That'll keep us under the heat threshold though. SRM4, no, I want the extra damage. Alright, 2 SRM4s, SRM6, 1 Mead laser going into the fire starter, and I'm going to precision strike this one because I want to just rip this thing open. The Enforcer's going to turn around and engage the others, and I'm going to have to use the 2 remaining mechs. Right leg destroyed, knockdown, okay, that's good.
Watch my heat. I'm taking damage.
That's what I'm going to try and do, Tel. I'm just, I've got to wait for the right turns to pop up first. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Alright, that's
Aye,
not
aye.
good. Reducer's going to have... Alright, so direct line of sight onto the tanks should be fine from there.
Position confirmed.
Well, let me target the tanks. Oh, no, it's not. It's not going to let me target the tanks at all. I can't actually do that. Oh, that's alright. The Marauder needed to cool down for a turn anyway.
Yeah.
Crap. That sucks. It won't let me blow the tanks. Alright, well...
I'm going.
Spin around, Shocker. Backing up like that is stupid. Multi-target. One for the Spider. One for the Commando. Now, how are we going to split this load? Alright, so we can run all of the weapons. So I reckon we go one of each onto each target. Medium 415, medium 415.
Splitting my fire.
Hopefully enough to get their attention back over here. I'm sure it was possible to blow target those tanks directly at one point. That's actually really annoying. Alright, so this is actually really easy. Should I? Should I do this? Yes, I should. Highlander burial.
Damage imminent.
Ah, damn it.
Warning. Armor low.
Well, on the upside, there is no way known that I haven't got that Enforcer's attention now. This is Shepherd 3. We have the last of refugees. Buy us another few minutes and we'll be out of here. Okay, so I've got one turn. One turn, and then none of these guys matter anymore. Alright, we got the attention of those two. Okay, so now I've just got to... We got the attention of those two. Have we got the Commando, though? Is it going to shoot the tank or the turrets? It's shooting the turrets. Alright, we've got those two, and there is no way known that Enforcer is going to be shooting anything that's not my Highlander now. The Panther's the problem. That Panther's engaged. And it's fired off its shot, so all we've got to do is stop the Jenner now from engaging the tanks, and it's hit the tank. Not enough to make it pop. Okay.
Ready for orders.
That's alright. This is good. This is fine. Center torso. This is going to overheat everything, so let's... Running it too hot for 2 turns, but I want that fire starter out of commission.
Taking the shot.
Cool. Fire starter's out.
Target neutralized. Heat damage. Damn it.
Yeah, we've definitely got that Enforcer's attention. It's not firing at those tanks this turn either. We've got this. The last dropship's getting away. And now we don't have to worry about the defense. I can actually start grouping up the... I can start grouping up the mechs.
Confirmed.
Start off with that Jenner. Precision strike. Jenner. Actually, no. We'll save the... No, there's nothing else I want. I don't need the precision strike for anything else. But I'm not going to go for the headshot. Just to send a torso. 2 PPCs, 2 medium lasers.
Roger.
Make it. What the hell was that? What happened? You just headshot 2 mechs in a row, and then you had a 91% chance to hit the center torso of a mech standing in complete open, and one of those shots looked like it left your gun 45 degrees off angle. Ice Planet, why not use its autocannon? The autocannons don't generate much less in the way of heat, and it would have chewed up. Well, I suppose I could have. I could have swapped it out for one of the SRMs, and it wouldn't have made too much of a difference either way. Regardless, doesn't really matter at this point. I think we're good now. Next round, one round, that one's going to take off, and nothing else is going to be able to pop the tanks before departure. Keep the SRM4s in play. No, we can leave one of them in.
Guess I'll give it to him then.
Come on, hit the torso. Pop it, pop it, pop it. There we go. Jenna's down.
That there's a kill.
Mags, check your program, the targeting system. It sounds like some Cyprian company, Cyprian company with ties to Russia might have been involved. Yeah, well, judging from that as well, it wasn't just the errant PPC. Did you notice I fired both medium lasers, but neither laser actually even appeared on screen during the shot animation? I think the medium lasers went off to wherever that second PPC went as well. They both went off into La La Land. I believe they go by the name of WoW Gaming. You want to know a horrific thought, Tal? Remember, the Battletech universe is a possible future variation of our universe, where companies that exist right now still exist in the past the year 3000. Like Ford is still a thing, GM is still a thing, so on and so forth. It's entirely possible that wargaming could still be ripping people off. They could exist. Wargaming could the wargaming company in the Battletech universe could be building real ships and tanks. Like, that's a possibility. You know, hold your horror with that. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is pretty straightforward. I'm going to swing around, because that was embarrassing that the Highlander burial missed that badly. So, doing a bit of a walk like that will fix up some stability damage. Gore's rifle off. We've got a precision strike available. Target the Enforcer. Center torso. 99.99. We'll take that off. You know what? Screw it. We're going to fire the Gore's rifle, even though it's only got a 55% chance at this. Because if it hits, it's going to do damage. And if it doesn't, well, it's going to blow a building. So it's fine.
Engaging target.
Yeah, not quite as much damage as I was hoping for. Our commando's getting wrecked by the turrets. Very good. Shepard 3 is away. Alright, we managed to get everybody out. Now we've just got to kill the rest of their mechs. And don't stand in the big red circles just in case their mechs decide to shoot the tanks still. Unfortunately, we can't do the same to them, which really sucks. Yeah, like, that's an important part to remember with the Battletech universe. A lot of companies' names that you know still exist now. The ship we're flying, the Argo, was built by Boeing. Boeing Interstellar, but still Boeing. I can't target the fuel tanks. I would blow the fuel tanks. I've already tried. It won't let me shoot the fuel tanks myself. They can shoot the fuel tanks. But it's not letting me target them. Yeah, I know it's sad. I would have blown them already. I was teeing up shots there before with the Marauder and the Archer to blow the tanks on the left and right hand side as soon as the left hand dropship left, to blow the Panther, the Jenner, and to take out the Spider and the Commando on the other side. But they won't let me target them, unfortunately. I'm sure in the past it lets you do that. I think they may have been removed at some point.
Yes, Commander.
So I'm positive on my first playthrough of this, I blew those tanks. So they may have stopped it because it made the mission too easy. Which is disappointing. But
location confirmed.
Kind of understandable. Alright, let's pull the PPCs out of this. We're running a little too close to hot here. We've still got plenty of resolve, so let's do a precision strike with just the medium lasers. Let's see if we can take the head off the Commando.
I copy.
No. But it hurt it.
Receiving you.
Alright, that Orion really needs to cool off. It's been running overheated for 2 rounds now, so regardless of what I'm planning on doing, I think I'm just going to move it back for the evasion bonus. Actually, move it in the trees here for the evasion bonus. And then just shut it down for a turn. She got to chill. Galaxy of Gladiators, where you control mythical figures of history in brutal blood and sand combat. You can pre-order a new premium Gladiator MacArthur, a Radiator of Korea right now for just... That actually sounds like an interesting game pitch, Tal. You know that means there will still be people doing disinterested Raid Shadow Legend shilling on GalTube. You know what? I actually want to see what that ad looks like. I want to see what that ad looks like.
I'm listening.
Alright, so we got the Panther down in there. Yeah, really need to cool... I need to cool the Archer off for a round too. We can actually afford to cool the mechs off now. So I'll move the Archer off here. That means the Panther shouldn't be able to get into its rear arc. Run a cooldown for a turn. And Hunter, who does not need to cool down his mech for any reason at all. Gauss rifle off. Let's start ripping at the Enforcer. I might go in for the right hook next round. That Panther's getting the side of the Orion. That's alright, Orion's got plenty of armor. Actually, we've surprisingly taken very little damage overall. This is spread nicely.
Ready for orders.
Well, the mission required a little bit of strategy. That went oddly smoothly. No. We'll move the Orion over 1, pick up the evasion bonus, and let's target the Enforcer. Only 60% on the AC-10. Alright, we'll fire at it from the other side, that'll be fine. It's still going to run us hot, but... Head hit, pilot injured. The Archer can engage the Panther, and the Marauder should be more than capable of popping these two tow rags over here, and that's it. That's all of them.
Yep.
Alright, so, Medusa. Both PPCs are a touch much. Okay, I can deal with that. Commando, make it go away. Thank you.
Hostile eliminated.
Commander.
Shocker in the Archer, you have lost... I don't really want to walk you into that range just yet, so we are not going to do that. I have this funny feeling it's not in the blast range. If I walked in there and span around to engage it, it's just going to shoot that tank and nuke my Archer, and I'm not playing that game. I will bring the Archer over here. We'll take out the Spider. We'll try to. We actually need a precision strike just to be able to hit the bloody thing. LRMs are good. We'll pull the SRMs out for heat control because they're only on 45%, 50-50 on the mediums, and we're going to shoot just for the center torso.
Here we go.
Center torso destroyed. That's the Spider removed.
Dropped him.
Now, as promised, Hunter can just go in here and just smack this Enforcer on the head. Hopefully this time he actually hits the bloody thing.
Engaging physical attack.
I was expecting more. Actually, honestly, the Highlander's been performing relatively poorly this round. Alright.
Not good. Not good.
It's alright. I had your armor up last round, remember? Or last rebuild.
Commander.
Alright, Decker's still running hot, so I'm going to call Decker for a round.
Roger. Venting heat and stabilizing. Ready for orders. Move into position.
Turn. Let's do a precision strike. Let's go for the headshot. Two PPCs, headshot. We'll roll the dice and see whether or not we can drop the Panther. Pilot injured, left torso destroyed.
Moving.
Not quite what we're after, but that's fine. We'll pull them out, cycle the SRMs in. That keeps us below the heat threshold.
Affirmative.
That blows the center torso. We still get one part of the Panther if we can recover it. Or we have a shot at it. It's not going to be my priority. I want that Battlemaster. And... we'll just punch it and actually break something, please. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Left leg destroyed, left torso destroyed, left arm destroyed. Took 3 shots, but we got there.
Yeah.
What gets really fun now? We can do one, we can do one medium and one PPC and still keep it below the heat threshold for the turn. And we get a free shot at a headshot on the...
I'm on it.
Did we get it? No. Ah, it was worth a roll.
Good to go.
Oh, kill it. Let's go home.
Locked on target. Tango down.
Mission complete. That's the last of them. Good job, Commander. If it wasn't for your lance, all those refugees would have died here today. Yeah, that was why we're here. Torian Mech Commander, your mercenary fought well, Lady Arano, but know that this has just begun. None of us can return home until you've been captured or killed, and every Torian mech that you destroy, 10 more will rise and take its place. Yeah. We will defeat them, Commander, just as we defeated you.
Mission successful.
Alright, let's go get a Battlemaster. I consider this repayment for the abysmal first mission at the start of this stream. So, protect Carusa's dropship, success. At least 2 dropships must survive, success. Protect all the docking pads' fuel reservoirs. Ah, that's a bonus. I still recall us being able to target those. Regardless, we got that one. All 3 dropships escape. Contract payment increased by 50%, 2.1 million, so that gets us out of the doghouse in terms of money. Mech-wise, everything actually went rather well. We didn't really suffer any major issues. A little bit of battle damage on a couple, but nothing major. Overall, that went surprisingly smoothly. Alright, so we are taking all 3 of those. 85-ton Battlemaster, thank you very much. Now, 3 parts to the Jenner. That's the Jenner we decapitated right at the start of the game. We also decapitated the Thunderbolt, so I can take 1 part of the Thunderbolt for a 65-tonner we can sell. And potentially on the random roll, which we are going to get 18 extra pieces of random salvage. We can potentially pick up a Commando out of this as well. Double plus large laser. That hopefully we'll get that. I'll stick that on the Marauder as well to give it another upgrade if we pick that one up. But I'm not going to pick it up independently because we need the cash. The Mead lasers would be nice as well. We'll upgrade a couple of the mechs. Spare double plus PPC would be good. Gyro. There's actually some really good salvage in this. And then lots of filler. Alright, let's see what we get. Alright, so we've got our Battlemaster. We got 1 part of the Enforcer. We got 2 parts of the Thunderbolt. So we're going to have a spare Thunderbolt part. So nothing really changes there. And we didn't get any of the Lost Tech weapons. So none of the enhanced weapons or Lost Tech weapons. So, oh well. Still, that worked out. The Battlemaster that's a replacement frontliner. Battlemasters are fantastic. Not sure how I'll kit this one out. I'll have to take a little bit of a look at it. But yeah, I like my Battlemasters. The path forward in orbit, Smithon. You've done it, Hunter. You faced off against the Torian war machine and forced it into retreat. How do we force it into retreat? We blew up maybe 2 Lancers and protected a spaceport. If anything, we were retreating. We got the civilians out and then we left. And if they can be driven out of one system, they can be driven out of another. The actions today have restored hope of the Igurian people, Hunter. Know that, believe it. I don't care about belief. Pay me. That's good. People need hope. Keep going through times to come. Beacon of Hope has a nice ring to it. I'm in this for the money. There it is. That's the response I wanted. Do you think that matters, Hunter? It doesn't. Continue fighting the way you did today and you'll be lionized as a hero of the Restoration all the same. Yeah, I don't care. Pay me. It's the Spectres line from MechWarrior 4. I'm here for the payday, not the politics. I hope that you're ready to pay more for our brand of heroism in the near future, Lady Arano. We don't destroy Turians, we only inconvenience them. They attack Smithton to get you, there's nothing stopping them from going it again somewhere else. And we'll be ready for when they do. Me on the comms and you on the battlefield. Together we'll do whatever we must to defend the Restoration. Absolutely, but at the end of this, Espinosa is mine. As long as you keep holding up your end, you can count on us. That's... No, I'll just go with that one. That's the mercenary response. You'll be paid as promised, Hunter. My word is my bond. Lady Urano, we're receiving an encoded hyperpulse transmission. Must be a message from Lady Centrala. Hang on a second, I'll put it on screen. Camille, I have news for you, both good and bad. We'll start with the good. My agents have established a contact with a member of House Gallus, the ruling family of Itrium. They served Espinosa in the early days of the Directorate, but have since fallen into disfavour. Lady Gallus claims to have information that would prove extremely damaging to your uncle. Her position, the position her family once held in the Directorate's power structure, gives her words weight. Her house's downfall gives her motive. And now the bad news. Lady Gallus has been taken prisoner by the Directorate's occupation forces. They have forced her locked away in her own castle, a gilded cage for an imprisoned royalty. We can't reach her again without liberating the system. We'd get her killed if we tried. And there you have it, a path forward. Regrettably, it won't be an easy one, and the Taurians will hound you every step of the way, but then you do have a way of defying my expectations. You always have. Best of luck, Lady Urano. I wish you success in the battles ahead. Well, there you have it, Hunter. We know where we have to go next. Itrium, right to the heart of the Directorate. To say that their defences will be formidable is an understatement, and Ostergaard will go on hounding us every step of the way. Are you sure that your people are ready for this? We're heading for a rough stretch of road. We'll fight and we'll win, as we always do. Either way, we'll handle it, and Ostergaard wants a place on my kill list. I'm happy to accommodate him. Yep, go for the last one. Damn right, we'll send Ostergaard and Espinosa to hell side by side. Let's get to it. Back to your stations. We've got a job to do. Alright, so we need to go and make some money. And we need to upgrade the rest of our stuff before we advance the story any further.
That mech you asked for is cleared for fighting.
Alright, versatile and powerful, the Battlemaster 1G is one of the best-known battle mechs in existence. Normally mounting a varied array of energy weapons, the Battlemaster can engage enemies at any range and packs a powerful punch. Yeah, Battlemasters are great. Yeah, we've got some points to spend in the barracks. We're going to have to repair up some mechs here, and we are going to get this Battlemaster going. The Thunderbolt is going into storage, and it's probably going to be sold. Alright, let's fix up our mechs. This should be pretty straightforward for all of them. Just repair. The Highlander didn't even need repairs. Nothing got through its armor. Alright, so what is the Battlemaster's config? Let's have a look at you. And this will be the end of it here too, guys. I'm just going to have a little bit of a poke at what this, how this one's configured. And then I'm going to call it the end of the night because it's currently 20 past 3 in the morning. So I think it's about time sleep was a thing. Alright, so first things first, MGs. They can go. Don't need those. Don't need the MG ammo. That can go as well. SRM ammo can go into the left and right legs. So that can go. We'll pull the heat sinks out of the torso and put those in the legs as well. PPC in the left arm. I don't have any enhanced PPCs. Don't have any enhanced mead lasers. God, I got 67 mead lasers. I'm going to have to sell some of those. Meads gives us to 83. Let's punch that armor right up there. $40, 55. We've nearly maxed out the armor. I want to make sure more armor on that side. I don't think I'll change much about that. I think I'll leave the Battlemaster as it is. I would probably long term want to change these over to Lost Tech weapons. Double, triple plus weapons on everything in here. And obviously if I got access to double heat sinks, I'd probably whack a couple of double heat sinks in it as well. But otherwise, there's not much else to change. Just the weight of the ton of MG ammo and the 2 MGs, those are practically useless on a mech like this. Those, yeah, they don't need to be there. So take them out and just transfer the rest of it into just armor. Actually, we might even pull the armor down on that side. Keep the left arm as a shield. drop it down to 90, and I'll put the difference into the legs. It's 140 on each of the legs, 140 on the arm. So that left arm, the right arm with the PPC is maxed out. And then 180, 180, and 270 at the front, so she can take a smack to the face. Alright, so that will do it. I think we'll confirm that. 2 days to change that one around, and the Battlemaster will be ready to rock and roll. We will we'll look at potentially upgrading it as we get access to more Lost Tech equipment that can toss around. Actually, I probably will pull... Yeah, the Zeus is going to go. I'm going to pull the Mead laser, the 2 Mead lasers, and the AC5 out. And once, that's going to take 0 days. Destroy components will automatically be removed and struck. No, I only want to remove those. Yeah, that's going to leave us under tonnage. That's fine, because I'm going to sell the mech.
Logged and noted. Shouldn't be too hard.
In fact, I want to make sure... Yeah, actually, I'll just send extra. Yeah, we'll set it in storage and I'll sell it later. And that clears the Zeus out because I'm not going to use it. It just doesn't have enough armor. So we'll pull the Zeus, and a Battlemaster can take the Zeus's position in the line, which will cycle out the Orion. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. And at this point, we're getting to the point that Kintaro can nearly go as well. We've still got the quick draws, we've got the 2 dragons, and we've got the Thunderbolt as our spare, as well as having the Warhammer as well. We nearly don't need the Kintaro in the 55-ton range anymore. Yeah, I might send the Kintaro away. It's a good mech, but I just haven't got a usage for it anymore. I've got another set of mechs for a second liners now. Alright, so that has that done. The arcade's complete in 3 days. Marauder's done, Orion's done, Archer's done, Battlemaster is done. 14 days until Picnic is out, and we can actually finally deploy him into battle. 38 days until Archangel's ready to rock and roll. 23 to financial report. We're up to 2.8 million, and I've probably got 2 million in mechs sitting in the hangar at the moment to sell comfortably without too much of an issue. So we're in a good spot now, and we've got another 85-tonner on the field, and a good one at that. So we just need a few more of those. Anyways, ladies and gents, I'm going to bring this stream to a close because I am knackered and I am going to bed. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I'll be transferring the stream over to YouTube, so you'll be able to watch the repeats there, even when they're no longer available on Twitch, and I will be getting back to this. I'll also be getting back into MechWarrior 4. I'm probably going to stream that this weekend as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what we'll be up to. Obviously, we are in February now, so my little holiday over January has come to a close. I should start having some direct videos going up on the YouTube channel as well. I've actually got a couple of new titles that I'm looking at covering. They're actually early access developments at the moment. A couple of an arcade flight sim from the cockpit that can be played both on a flat screen and in VR. That actually looks pretty cool. Haven't tried it yet, but it looks pretty cool. And the space sim that I think everyone was hoping Star Citizen would already be, it seems there is a single-man team that's actually developing at the moment. It's called HunterNet Starfighter, and it's looking pretty good so far. I've had a little play on that one. It's very early in development, but I'm in the process of organising to get access to a more current build, and I'm going to take that one out for a spin as well, because that looks like it could be a hell of a lot of fun. Anyways, guys, until next time, good night and take care.